look too weird. And I can oh, I definitely prefer my picture on on my phone than on my camera. The angle is different. It says I'm live. Yay. I am French. I was born in Quebec and I could not speak English. Well, I know we learned at my time. I'm 35 years old, so we started learning French in grade English in grade 4, and just basic, obviously, just basic English. Then through high school, and then I went to do 1 year in Ontario in a French town in an English school or a bilingual school. And I went for an English immersion program there. I had my first boyfriend, at 18 or 17. Yeah, just like he spoke only English. So that was very helpful. Like if you want to learn a new language, hook up with someone who only speaks that language. And so I have people on Facebook, and I put that on YouTube as well. Not that I have a big crowd, and right now I'm also on TikTok. For those who don't know what that is, it's a pretty cool, amazing app that I've been on since April. One of my friend actually had he went on this. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, I'm gonna do a TikTok, and then 2 months later, I'm like, let's just see what that's all about. And this is the best thing, honestly. I got like over 1,000 people, like, so that's why I can make live on TikTok, and I don't know where to look. I just say through 3 thrice. Sounds pretty good, eh? I lived in Manitoba for 4 years, which is pretty much in English. I was in Thompson in the north, and then I lived in Sudbury and Timmins, which are pretty bilingual town, because they're not really city, they're more town. But yeah, I'll just repeat it so that you can hear it. Through 3 thrice. I'm a very good student. Like, honestly, the people I've met, a lot of people I've met, my English, although it's my second language, was of higher quality than some primary speaker. Anyway, but I'm not saying that I'm better. I'm not saying this, but I just am very grateful that I have. Let me make a joke that I have. That's how I started speaking. I have, and my boyfriend, even like after like for 3 years, my boyfriend who was my husband later, he laughed. Like, I mean, every Anglophone are laughing at the French people. Like, I have. Anyway, almost. No, I speak better than that. It's been many years now that I speak English, and for me, it's funny because the reason I went to learn English, and I know people are Quebecois, they can be like, oh my God, I am not like a separatist. I'm not like independent. And I was so mad when I learned this story that their Francophone, they lost the war, and that I'm like, man, I want to get out of this province and I want to go travel the world, but I couldn't speak English. So that was very upsetting for me. Anyway, so I went to learn English, and now I can go anywhere in the world and not feel bound, or not feel like closed off. Anyway, let me just see. Here I have a message. Let's see. So I'm doing StreamYard, which is an app on internet. I am doing this program. I don't know if you know about Lisa Nichols. She's a international speaker, and I'm in one of her program. And actually, one of our homework is to do a StreamYard with someone on our team. I look so much younger there than there. I'll just say that. I look so much like skinny. I don't care. Like, that's not what I'm doing. But for a long time, I did not enjoy what I look like. So for me, it's different to see me. And I have no filter. I don't put filter or anything. I don't know how they work. And I like how I look. So why would I need a filter when I got this gorgeous face? I'm all about natural, or a lot. Anyway. So right now I'm on StreamYard. So I can only do Facebook for my professional page, and Facebook, my regular page, YouTube. which is so actually tomorrow morning, and I'll put it on TikTok. Maybe I'll see. But at 7 a.m. Eastern time in Canada, I am doing a. I'm going to be talking with someone from Australia, one of my friends from Australia through that program, because we're all learning to be speakers. Like we already are speaker. I already did like 4 conferences in the past 2 years, which I know is not a lot. And at the same time, I'm very grateful because I was not ready. I've been working a lot on myself. But anyway, so like right now I'm trying this out because it's part of our homework. And at the same time, because I'm still unsure where I'm going in life, but I just finished my life coaching course in applied neurosciences, which was like less than a year program, but like we got very effective coaching. Oh my God. Okay, we got a lot of coaching question. Like it's amazing the techniques we have, and so I'm like, oh, maybe I want to go into like movies and actress, and that's why I love TikTok, because then you can just practice like just speaking on top of people and just do your acting. And I'm like, I think right now I want to take a break of studying and not learning something new, but just apply what I've learned through my healing, because that's pretty much what I did. I did that coaching program to help myself, and then I did so many other programs, like ridiculous. Like I've been trying to heal a lot of stuff that came up in the past 3 years, and at the same time, I'm doing right now like EFT, which is tapping. And for me, this was the discovery of a lifetime. It's I know Abraham Hicks said we don't have to go look through all of our past and fix our past and rearrange everything, but we do have to live our emotions, because the primary role of an emotion is to give us a message. If you feel tension in your body, there's something your body's telling you. There's a message that's important to listen. And in my life coach course, I've learned about the different stages of emotion, like how we feel. So the first stage is when you're numb. You don't feel anything. You don't feel physical pain, or you don't feel emotions. You cannot tell what's going on. You're just like, and I think personally, I've lived that through my husband's cancer. Not all the time, because honestly, when he said, when he had cancer, I'm sorry, I play with my fingers. I will try to make an effort to keep my hands here and not do it. And I still haven't found the root cause of what I do that. It's been forever, and a habit I'm trying. I don't smoke. I never taken drugs. I never smoked, and I don't drink alcohol on a regular basis. I don't drink coffee. So I guess I need something bad at one point. I'm gonna pick my fingers, I guess. And anyway, so I was numb. Like he said no, he had cancer. I was kind of ready for it. So it wasn't a shock for me. As much as for me, a traumatic death would be somebody getting hit by a car, somebody getting murdered. But through EFT, I've discovered that a trauma doesn't have to be something that's traumatic. Like a trauma is something that's unexpected. Yes, he was 32 years old and he passed away from cancer, of like childhood cancer. Apparently, it's more common with kids. And I was someone who would always, I guess I was seeing the negative side of life, always being ready for the worst case scenario all the time. So when he had this bump on his butt that would not go away and it was painful, I Googled the thing, and rhabdomyosarcoma came up. And then 2 weeks later, what does he have? What is he diagnosed with? Rhabdomyosarcoma. Now I know about law of attraction, and I know the power of our thoughts is what creates our reality. And now I do believe in the best that can happen. I used to always plan for the worst or not do anything. So now actually, what good can happen? But that's a mindset that needs to be changed. And it's really, really hard when you plan all your life. I mean, seriously, I would be in my dad sleeping when he wasn't there, or even if he was there, and then thinking, what if the house catches on fire? How am I going to escape? Everywhere I go, like, it's not like I'm looking at all the exit, but I know how to escape. I know, like, in my head, I know if there's if there was a shooter coming in a conference room, what would I do? I already have like those plans in my head, which is, like, oh my God, like, but that's anxiety. And I think, that's why I'm doing this as I'm talking about it. And that's what's good about EFT. Right now, I'm not doing anything because I'm not tapping. But as you work through those points on your body and you say the emotion and you actually live them, you have stuff coming up that you didn't know because everything is in your subconscious. And I love the brain. Honestly, I love the brain. Like, I don't want sex. I want talk to me dirty. Like, talk to me brain. And it's like amazing. Talk to me love attraction. Talk to me about manifesting. Oh my God. Talk deeply about who you are. This is really cool. Yeah. I wear my shoes. I didn't think I was gonna show you my pants, which are my pajama pants. Anyway, so first stage, you don't feel anything. I was okay. You have cancer. We'll deal with it. My mom had cancer for a few years. I think maybe like total 6 years, but she survived a total of like 10, 12 years after that, like including this. And then one of my aunts, she had bone cancer, and she was like, a lot of times she was like, oh, you have 1 year left. And then she would come back up, and she did 7 years. So for me, as much as, cancer, I'm like, okay, you're going to die at one point, but, it can be in 5 years. It can be whenever. Like, you still have time. It took 14 months. But with this in mind, I wasn't so stressed. I mean, cancer, a lot of people survive cancer. And then 3 months later, so now, like, okay, we're dealing. We moved to Toronto, which was really pretty cool. We spent a lot of time together. I was pregnant. Learned I was pregnant 5 days before we knew he had cancer. And anyway, then he comes back from the first appointment I missed, and he tells me, well, I have a bad news. I have 4% chances of surviving 5 years. Okay, well, let me tell you, I lived my emotion there. There was no hiding. There was no numbing. That was just crying and pain and crying and pain. I wish I knew EFT then. But I didn't. So I just cried. And after 3 days, I said, okay, Marie-Ève, you have a choice. Are you going to cry every single day of your life? Or until he dies? Because 4% chances of surviving 5 years could mean you're going to be the 4% who's going to make it. Could also mean you're going to die tomorrow, or in a month, or in 5, you might just never die. Like, not never die, but from that cause. So all these options, my brain works overtime a lot. I got pretty, I have a hamster that's in pretty good shape. Let me tell you that. And so after the third day, I was crying, no more tears. So now the body, the second stage of your emotion, is feeling them through your body. Obviously, I know it was sad and I was shocked, but other than that, so I was a higher level. But then through the whole time, every tumor he had and everything he had, every new thing that was developing, a lot of people say toxic positivity. Maybe that's what I had. If I'm going to be infected with something, I want toxic positivity. That's something, I'll take that, in all honesty. Because even though, miracles happen. And that's why with the EFT, it's such a miracle, because you don't know, like, you just work through things. But then, for all these time, like, well, we know you have a new tumor. Well, at least you can have your chemo tomorrow and not in 2 months. Better to know now and treat it than later on. So that was my way of thinking. And then when he passed, I was very at peace. And then after that, for 8 months, for me, I moved to Montreal, like near Montreal. I was fine. I dealt with everything before my husband passed away. So I did all the funeral planning. It's not because nobody offered me help. We did offer help. I'm like, no, I'm good. For the funeral, like, I did a 10-minute eulogy. And I asked God and Eric, I said, just make sure I don't cry. I want to tell my message the way I want to say it without crying. And I did not cry. 10-minute eulogy. Like, that's a pretty long time. And I was all fine. Like, honestly, when I think about it, it was fine. But at the same time, for the inner child within me, this is a very freaking traumatic event. Very. I mean, you just lost your husband that you were best friend to for the last 13 years, and you have 2 kids. One was a baby who was 6 months old, and one was a 3.5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old. So at the same time, I didn't have the chance to allow my emotion to happen. My brain, I was raised by good parents, but obviously when I had my emotions, I remember my dog dying and me like crying when I like, stop crying, like, ah. So I was, not ashamed of leaving my emotions. So now I feel like my mom passed away 7 years before my husband. So I was kind of like, I accompanied her through that. Now it just makes sense. I got the experience. I can now accompany him, not from a stressful place, but from a peaceful place. Like I was going to give him all of that, a good thing. Like last good months of life, being the best wife and giving best end of life. But through that, like, I didn't cry. I cried when he passed away. And then after that, for 8 months, I was good. Fell in love with someone else. That didn't work out. Then that went so much pressure on my shoulders, like so much pressure. It was painful. That's when I met, energetic people, chiro, osteopath, like massage therapist, name it. That's our new cat, see? Say hi. Hi, kitty pie. And anyway, I didn't know, but I've learned in the past 2 years that your physical, like any diseases or anything that's painful is usually linked to an emotion that has not been processed. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I got a load on my shoulders, a load. And it makes sense, single mom dealing with, conflict and stuff. Because I was not at my best self through it. I was in the frustration time, obviously. I didn't know I was at peace with me, but people kept on disrespecting my boundaries, which I didn't have before. So I'm glad through this process, I've learned to create my own boundaries. Maybe right now it's still a little too much right now. Maybe I'm not letting people in enough yet, but it's a process. But I was fine. If I'm mad, it's not because my husband passed away. It's because they did this. If I'm mad because they did this. If I'm mad, it's because they did this. And now I've learned that, everything around you in your reality is a mirror of how you feel inside of you. Haha. Once you know that, and that you're upset at these people and this, you're like, oh my God, I am upset within me, inside of me. There's something that's upset. And I just attract these behaviors from people around me that match that upset or that match that emotion that I'm going through. That changes a lot, because then you're like, I guess I'm mad inside of me. But if you don't feel it, like, I'm not upset, I'm not mad because my husband passed away. Like, I was going to grieving places and like grieving groups, and like I don't get that. This is not feeling I'm feeling. They're crying. Like, I'm pretty okay. And I love my husband. He was like, I can say he was my everything, but at the same time, I was pretty independent too. Like, we were pretty good together. Anyway, I've always been strong. I've always been doing things by myself often. So for me, it was not something new. I've always felt like a superwoman, and here I am. I'm still doing it. So I've learned only since June. I've only been doing tapping since June, which I should have done before. So first level is no feelings. Then you have feeling in your body. Oh, and I have this great book. Do I have it here? Oh, no, it's not it. It's called Heal Your Pain from Louise Hay. If you have a chance to read that book, well, read it. I get it. You can find it online as well. So I'm like, oh, somebody has a cough. Let's see. Cough is barking at the world. Now, what do you say? And then, if your eye don't see something. So like if you wear glasses that you don't see from far, well, that means that there's you don't see far in the future. Or if you have hearing ache or hearing problems, there's something you're not hearing with love. You don't want to hear what's going on. So your body is telling you different things. And so now your body is feeling it. Then the next step is you can actually feel like one emotion. You're crying like, I feel like crying. You don't know why, but you feel like crying. So that's the third level. So you're gonna cry. Yeah, I'm sad. I guess I'm sad. I guess if I cry, it's because I'm sad. And a lot of time, sadness, when you cry, hides anger as well, or different emotions. So then after, you're going up in your emotional intelligence, I guess we can say, you would feel, you would not only know one emotion, you would be able to kind of distinguish, okay, now I know I'm feeling hurt. Now I know I'm feeling sad. Now I know I'm feeling angry. So you would know, okay, not on the table. No. So you would be able to not only say what the emotion, but you can see there are many. And yeah. Then the next level is what's causing them. Not only can you feel them through your body, you can say what they are, but you can also, my companion, but you can also tell exactly where it comes from. And a lot of time, what I've learned is if somebody is doing a behavior that triggers your emotion, the person didn't hurt you. It triggered an emotion that hurt you in your childhood or in your past. And I've analyzed all my emotion, and I can tell you, yeah, this triggered this, that triggered this. And I remember the first time it happened was this. So when you know the cause, I know when people talk to me this way, it triggers a sense of I'm not worthy or whatever. If people don't answer to my message, they don't reply to a request, then I feel I am not loved and they're probably angry at me. I may have done something wrong. I don't know. But this is how my brain was set up through programming of my parenting, what we watch on TV, what I hear in the media. I don't watch TV anymore. We watch Netflix for my kids, and we watch Disney Plus. It's pretty much, they watch YouTube, but just Love Attraction brings us good stuff on there. And so now I know what the causes of my emotions are. Once you know the cause, what it is, it's easy to just say, well, that's not happening. I know what the cause is. You just deal with it. And then in the future, it won't trigger you anymore, which is awesome. And then the next level is having empathy for others. Because once you understand your own emotion, it's easier to understand the emotions of others. Through my healing that I'm still going through, because we heal, all of our life, but through all of this healing, I used to be a very judgmental person. But the thing is, if you judge others, it's because you judge yourself. I am someone who puts very high level of excellence in my life. I was a perfectionist. Now I'm learning a new definition of perfection. It's just trying to perfect. So it's not a state, it's an action of perfection. You are perfecting something. But what I was always reaching is high achievement and excellency and being the best that I can. And through that, if I judge others, because what we see in others is what we see in ourselves that we don't see. I cannot look at me and my behavior. I can see my intention in my behaviors, but I cannot see what it looks like from the outside. So when people actually do something that disrupt, I'm like, oh my God, this is triggering me. That's not good. But there's part of me inside of me that's associating with this. So I judge myself. Through judging others, I judge myself. And that was very, very powerful to see, now I'm a lot less judgy, a lot less. I still judge people because I still judge myself sometimes, but I've learned to self-love me a lot more. Accepting that I've been hurt by people, because I'm someone who holds on. I hold on. You hurt me 20 years ago, I still remember, and it's still open, and it's still very fresh. I will talk to it as if it happened yesterday. And through EFT, we are allowing ourselves to move the emotions, to move them, so that they don't get our brain hijacked. Because your brain does not know if what you're thinking right now is happening to you, if it's in the movie, or if you're just thinking it. For him or for it thinks it's happening right now. So if I'm thinking about something that happened 20 years ago, my body and brain goes like, "Ooh, she's getting hurt. She's getting rejected. She's getting abandoned, even though the person in front of her didn't do a thing. My body goes into protection mode, retreat, retreat, retreat. And then, don't talk to that person anymore, or do a behavior that's going to push them away. That way, this time, you'll know why they went away, because you did something wrong. Not something's wrong with you. Because for 20 years, these people, I'm like, they just abandoned me. I'm like, what did I do? And for 20 years, I thought something was wrong with me. I guess I should have gone to therapy before. But anyway, so this, now I can see it and I get triggered by this. I'm not frustrated about the situation anymore. But it had replayed in my life in the past 2 years. And so with this, now I know I don't want to replay that scenario in my head, because I don't want to feel like, okay, I'm being abandoned. But that, if you feel abandoned, that's a lack of self-love. You know your worth. If you know your worth, you don't care if people abandon you, because like, well, that's your loss. I'm sorry if you don't feel like being my friend anymore. But when you're a kid in school and you haven't been taught that way, you don't see it like that. You see like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Maybe it was... So now, with the work I've done on myself, hey, Rock, with the work I've done on myself, now I can see my own self-worth. I can give my own validation that I am a good person. But that's going through the tapping, which I'll show you the points. And I have 2 methods, because I'm being coached by, her name is Victoria Kreider. She's been trained by Lori, I don't remember her last name, but she's the one who went in this town of Sandy Hook after the mass shooting. So I'm being coached. I'm being not therapist. I'm being followed and helped with this person who works in Sandy Hook in the town to help the city recover from, even though it happened a while ago, people are still traumatized. So she works through that. So she has a technique that we go through. And then through my program in neurosciences, we've learned a different way, because it's neuropuncture, yeah. And it's not, they're very similar, but there's a few things different, because we work with the brain. Everything that I learned in this class, our teacher, which is a psychologist, everything was done and tested under MRI and under like any kind of scan, to make sure that, when we ask the questions, let's say I say, so what does seem to be the problem? Well, what does seem to be the problem is not as effective as what's the problem. And so that's why, like, in my coaching course that we learn, everything, like, you have to say the words exactly how they are written and scripted, because this is how your brain is going to actually, respond the best, at its best. And so he did some EFT and said, well, some points that EFT is doing is not as effective as this when we go under MRI. So I'm going to show you 2 techniques that have helped me a lot. And in the program with Dr. Scott Smale that I was talking earlier, we had Lori, which is the head of the EFT program that of my coach, pretty much, of my therapist. She did a session, because she's like, now with the school starting again, as much as the students, the teachers, all the school workers, the parents, they're stressed. With COVID all around, we need to be able to calm our system down. We have fears, and a lot of time fears stem from our ideas, from our thoughts. And they're just belief. If it was before, I probably would have been in my house all this time and not do anything. Now I believe that everything that's an ailment is because of an emotional cause. So COVID or not, I still feel safe, because I am safe within myself and I'm safe in my surrounding. No matter where I go, if I feel safe within my body, wherever I go, it will be shown around me. So if I feel safe, I could even go to Jerusalem or whatever where there's bombing and not let the outside get to me. I'm still not at that level, like not quite, because everything is vibration, right? So if you're afraid of something, you're going to, like, if you're afraid, there's something that's going to, be played. So I'm putting all the best in my vibration. I believe and I now trust God and the universe, that it has my back. It wants the best for me. If I think I don't have support, well, it's going to show in my environment. I won't have support. And it's funny because for a while, like for a long time now, since my husband passed, support, there was a time I wasn't sure people actually liked me. I was being annoying. I actually felt like a burden. I never had suicidal thoughts, but I did call the info suicide line twice in 2 years because I heard stuff from other people on TV. And I'm like, what if I get up tomorrow morning? I'm like, oh my God. So I actually call, I know I'm not going to do it. I love life, and not because of my kids, but just because I love my life, and I have fun. And I know it's just a period. So I know something good is happening. But just all these emotions, like being afraid of something, being afraid of going outside of your house, being afraid, that's a fear. That's a fear that you can work through the EFT as well. Just to calm your brain, just to calm your system. Your limbic system, like going, oh yeah, I'm just gonna freak out now, and then all your body freezes, or depending of your I'm just checking here. Okay. And so first thing we do in EFT, sounds like you're rocking it, my friend. Thank you. I am. I think I am. I even started Kung Fu last week, 2 weeks ago. I mean, I played curling for 22 years and over, and I started Kung Fu. My kids were like, we watched Kung Fu Panda. We want to do Kung Fu. I'm like, all right. I stopped curling last year. I'm like, am I curling? Because one thing you have to ask yourself when you do something, are you doing it because you're having fun? Are you doing it because that's the only thing you know how to do? And after curling for 22 years, I'm like, am I still curling because I like it? Or is it because it's been 22 years and that, that's pretty much all I want to do? Or what's my point? If I'm not going to the Olympic right now, what's the point of doing it? My fingers and my toes freezes all the time. So I just stopped, because now that I knew how law of attraction worked, I did not miss too many shots. And I was like, well, when you don't miss, the game gets pretty boring. And it's always the same strategy. I'm like, I played this game for 22 years. Oh my God. And I loved it. Like, if you talk to me about curling, I will convince you it's the best sport in the world. But I started Kung Fu 2 weeks ago. And the reason I did keep doing it, because I did a parent-kid program with them for like 1 day. We just practiced it. And I said, I don't want to do it with my kids. I wanted me do it by myself, have a night free of my children, and learn, you learn how to self-defense. Like we learn how to block. We learn how to hit. And, like we learn how to stand tall and just, have a good posture. And for me, I'm like, I need a good posture. I'm going to be a coach. I also want to be an example. I'm someone who leads by example. Being a coach, being a teacher, being whatever life's going to bring me in my life, just being a mom, I want to be a good example for them. And I want to have a good posture. I want to live a long life. I know I'm going to live a long life, but do I want to look like an old wrinkly person who's always like in pain? Or do I want to be that, she got Botox, but I didn't get Botox. It's just because I'm a healthy, like I live a healthy lifestyle, kind of old person. And that's, the second one. I want to be the old person, old in age, but that, that doesn't look or age. It looks younger. And so for tapping, this I would do. I even showed that to my kids, and you can do that with your own children if you have any, or anyone you're around. And even when I was supposed to go on a date the other day, and then in the end I canceled. I'm like, the guy is not even like considering that I have to have a babysitter, and I did all of this, and all he has to do is show up. Anyway, there was a lot of frustration, and he was not worthy of my time because he kept pushing off. And rain made it, well, like if rain scares you, I'm going to scare you, dude. I am just, if you're scared of rain, I'm sorry. You're not meant to be with me. We go play outside in the puddles when it rains sometimes. Anyway, so what I would do, like I would start crying, and my friend was here, and she's like, well, she was trying to comfort me. And I will tell you right now, right? Because like, well, on his perspective, this happened, and maybe like he doesn't know how you feel, doesn't know you have to get a babysitter, or he doesn't know what you did. And I'm like, right now, and Was he gonna melt in the rain? I don't know. Well, he was gonna bring his dog, which was fine. I was fine with. And then yeah. Anyway, I got worse. I got worse dates than that. and oh, I could talk to you guys for hours about my dating life. Dating was more a sexual discovery than dating because I was not ready. I thought I was ready, but I was not, honestly. Anyway, so through this, I was like to my friend, I'm like, you know what I need right now? I need you to shut up and let me cry. Because when you tell me, let's say I'm crying, and I'm like, oh, nobody because it's not the first guy. I'm like, I got kids, and even myself, like, I got kids. Like, I gotta consider that I have kids, and sometimes it does feel like they are a burden. Like, because now I'm like, I want to be free. I want to go travel the world. Like, I have money, so now I can live my dreams. And I think children was my dream for a long, long time. And I'm like, dating. Who wants someone? Like, those were my beliefs. Like, it has changed. Believe me, in 2 years, it has changed. A lot of things has changed. And for a year, like, my kids were a burden. But that's because I was discovering self-love. As much as it was hard and crappy emotion, I yell at my kids. Like, they're 3 and 5. Like, so much guilt. So much mom guilt. I did take a course for working on myself and my triggers. But now, like, if I get angry, even though I'm angry at my daughters, or even though I'm angry they're not going to sleep when I want to, or even though, and then I'm just going to tap. Even though I'm angry, and I'll just tap and then cry it. I'm someone who likes to cry, apparently. I cry a lot. I'm someone, like, you can't really tell. Like, I know on TikTok you can see it. I do have a few videos of some meltdowns. But I'm not someone who would cry in front of people. Really not. Like, even when Eric passed, like, my in-laws were sleeping in my house and I was in my room and they were not there. So I was crying, and as soon as they opened the door, yep, I do not feel safe being vulnerable with you in my house. Yeah, I know you're not going to take care of my needs the way you've been treating me. So my brain knows, like, when to retreat. It knows when to cry. And I cry a lot, like, at night. A lot of times when I put my head down, I'm like, oh, this happened like this. And I see it, like, that new perspective on things, which is pretty fun. And yeah. So where was I going with that? I don't know. Anyway, I tell my friend, please shut up, because right now you're telling me his perspective. Yeah, but he doesn't know that you called 4 babysitters and none of them could come. Exactly. So now you're making me feel what he's feeling instead of feeling my own feeling. I understand the guy doesn't get what I went through. He's not in my house, doesn't see me. I get that. But now so even for you and your friends or your children, yeah, but if you, let's say, I don't know, your kid goes, somebody hurts them, yeah, and you tell them, yeah, but she didn't know that you did this for her. Oh, thank you. I appreciate. Aw, thank you so much. You are one of mine too, honestly. Always there. Thanks. And it's my pleasure to share. I've been oversharing, for past 3 years. I overshare everything. I don't know what the purpose is. I think I want to help people. And for me, they're not personal information. I don't see this as personal. I see it as, I went through some experiences, and I know it can help someone. Because I used to be that girl with no confidence, rejected in high school. But then just from that one experience, I thought the whole school hated me. I didn't do anything wrong, but for me, from my perspective, my high school experience was not as enjoyable because of one experience that I could not let go of. So it cluttered, like, it changed my perspective on everything in my reality. I was mad at them, so now I thought everybody was mad at me. But it doesn't matter. So, and now I can say that I love how I look. And, before I would complain, like, now I know we don't see it much. But I use, like, now maybe more, but this was deep. Like, for me, it was deep. From my perspective, what I saw in the mirror, this and lots of acne, and I didn't like my hair, always too short. And so there was a lot of things. Now I can say, doesn't matter what I look like. I was even offered filling for under my eyes on a TV show, and I said, no, thank you. I'll just take the VIP, facial treatment, because now I've come to accept that this is just my bone structure. Not even because I'm tired, just my bone structure. But I used to wear glasses, and they would like kind of they were a little not they didn't have shade, but it made it look worse. But yeah, so anyway, so I'm like, please shut up. Let me just cry. I don't want to know what he's going through. I need to know what I am going through. And before I would not have been able, like, I'm the friend who would say, well, she did what I do. Like, don't be sad. It's all right. Now, like, please be sad. You're sad. Okay. Now, what do you want me to do for you? How can I be of support? Do you want me to give you, some tips on what I've learned that could help you, what I see in this behavior? Do you want me to just say good job and allow you to cry? Do you want me to just shut up and listen? Now, I ask the person when they live emotions, what do you want me to do? Because I'm someone who wants to save the world. I want to fix your problems. I want to fix my youth. I want to fix your youth. I want to fix everyone's problem, but I know I can't. And so now if I go, but that stems from a mindset that I need to fix myself, that something is wrong. And I've learned that in one of my course. So if you think something is wrong within you, you're trying to fix yourself. But first of all, I learned we're all whole. We're not broken. We're all the way we are. And so if you think you need to fix yourself, you want to fix everyone else around you. You see everything that needs to be fixed because you think you need to fix yourself. Which now makes sense. I can see that. I'm like, yeah. It's not because I think you suck, just because I think you need some help, because I know I need some help, and I would appreciate the help. Now don't ask me what help I need, because I don't know. Okay? That's something I'm learning through everything. But now it's just like a place to talk, which is awesome, without being judged. And what I like to see is I'm not being judged because now I don't judge myself anymore. But if I judge myself, some people I would see in comments, some judgment. That's why, when you write stuff on internet, yeah, you're the person who's always negative, but you're also responding to how they see things. So the way I speak to myself, my little inner voice, is what's being reflected outside. I got arrested for harassment 2 years ago on the guy I loved, and but I thought every time I would write to him that I was freaking annoying. I thought I was annoying. I'm like, Marie-Ève, don't do it. You're annoying. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're so freaking, like, stop it. Like, in my head, my own best friend was saying me to not do it. Instead of saying, yeah, he likes it. No. I was finding myself annoying. I was transposing on someone else. Maybe I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm annoying. No, it's all good. That was at the beginning. I'm sorry. No, it's all good. I see this as quality time. Yeah, you come and tell me this, and then, after that, it's annoying. But I can see this. And then I got, the child services got called and came to see my house, make sure, I was fine because they got complained. But I was at a time that I thought I was a bad mom. Yeah, I'm important. Treat yourself with the same acceptance you give those around you. Yes, thank you, Rock. That one is one that I know now. Stop it. Yeah, it's one that I now know that 2 years ago I didn't. I'm giving unconditional love here. No, I was forgetting about myself and not like forgiving this, forgiving that, like accepting shit coming all the way, and like, okay, well, you must love me. Oh my God, like now I'm like, yeah, this I don't accept this I don't accept this. I put my boundaries, and now like, Marie-Ève, you gave them, like the guy, he called the cops on you. You went to court, and I'm like, yeah, I did a behavior that got this. Like, I am responsible for this. Yeah, he's responsible for, getting me hooked in a way. But at the same time, I don't hate the guy. Like, honestly, he did nothing wrong other than saying, he was the person, like, I'm the kid at school who was telling the teacher, hey, she didn't listen to the rule. Well, that's exactly what he did. It's like, hey, police, she didn't listen to the rule. Please do something about it. So I cannot, the guy, like, I was like pushy. Of course, I didn't say anything bad. Like, I got arrested for harassment. I got a 1 year. I should stop saying it. I mean, it's not like, but for me, I'm sharing it because it's a warning for other people. Like, I discovered this twin flame stuff, and like, you don't need to go that far. You don't need to go that far unless you believe it. Otherwise, don't. There's no point. Like, but at the same time, like for me, it didn't do much other than my pride. And for me, I'm like, I am this good person. Oh my god, I got a criminal record for a year. Like, oh my god. But anyway, I'm not mad at the person, like not whatsoever, for this. But anyway, yeah. So now I learned because of this situation that happened. That was just trying to prove myself. I'm like, and it wasn't even proving myself. It was just saying, okay, you're telling me you don't want anything to do with me, but here, let me be honest with you of how I feel about you. And this is why I got arrested in the end. But because not that I didn't care about what he thought or about what he wanted. Like, I care so much about everyone else, what they want. Like, I would have almost given my life to this guy. Like, I was ready to go to jail for this guy. Like, I was ready to be so loving and like honesty. But at the same time, through this, I'm like, okay, man, yeah, that's codependency. Like, I learned what codependency is, that I need to feel my self-love first. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here talking about like this today, about all I've learned and how to fill my own cup before, like not before it was my husband. It's like, oh, you're so awesome. You're so pretty. You're so this, you're so that. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I don't feel like it, but thank you. Like, I think you're just telling me that you find me pretty because I'm your girlfriend. You don't really have a choice to find me pretty. You know, like unconditional love. It's like, you don't have a choice. It's unconditional. You're my dad. You don't have a choice to love me. So when my husband would say that I was pretty, I did not believe it. But, you know, at one point I'm like, I started believing it. And he was just giving me so much love. And I was giving him so much love. I'm like, oh my God, for me, he was a God. And well, through this, when he passed, I'm like, he gave me so much love, I'm going to give love back. And after a while, after giving love and love and love, but it's not coming back, your cup empties. Not acknowledging my feelings. And I'm like, that was wrong. What these people did was wrong. But then I would try to get why they did something. What did I do? And then just justify why it was so wrong and stay in that mindset of this, the way I was treated was wrong. And just yesterday on TikTok, one girl said, just acknowledge that what people did to you was wrong. And then that your job is just to heal from that. Not try to, well, they did it because of this or that. No, just, it happened. Yeah, it was wrong. And I'm like, it's a lot easier to let go when you're just like, yeah, that was not the right thing to do. I was not treated properly. All right. Then your inner child, because all your inner child wants is for you to acknowledge its feeling. If you say, well, they lost their child, like, I understand if I was in their position, this is what I would want, how to be treated. And that's how I treated people. If I was in their shoes, now I'm in my shoes. My husband is dying. Here's how I want to be treated. No, I'm like, well, I understand, like, that's their son. I'll leave my space and go right ahead. I thought the mom was more important than me. I thought the parents were more important than me. I thought my kids were more important than me. But if everybody's more important than me, I got nothing else to give. I'm the most important person in my world, even before my kids. And that, my friend, is a pretty big mindset switch. When you give to your kids, when you give to everyone, and you're like, yeah, I'm a me first. If I don't take care of this, I cannot take care of my kids properly. And that's why I had the emotional detachment of like, yeah, I was frustrated. I was in a frustration vibration. Everything would piss me off with my kids, but not everything, but a lot. But now, because I'm like, I want to give you love, but I can't because my cup is empty. So putting my own mask was so hard. And so like, I felt so much guilt. But now I'm very glad it happened. That it happens now, because now I know, even though the first few years of life, they still embody in your body, but the brain develops until 28 or something. So I know that I'm going to have gone through, heal all my traumas so that I do not project on my kids. And I'll be able to let them be who they want to be and me be who I want to be, not be a product of society and the way I was parented, but to be me. So that's the fun right now I'm discovering and going through my emotions. Like, yeah, this makes me cry. Now I can tell. So when I'll have my boyfriend, I'll say, yeah, this makes me cry because of this. I can exactly tell why things happen in that way because I know myself so much. And I find this so cool. So in the EFT, what we would do, the basic sentence is, even though I blah, 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 I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So the first thing, I'm just going to put that lower. So the first thing we do is this. And I'm going to show you the way I was coached through, it's self-care through my therapist. And I'll show you the other way after. This way, the first one, I find not more human. Maybe it's just because the way it's done, she's just so compassionate. Maybe it's just because it's a girl and the other one is a guy. And the way he's doing it feels like too much in the brain, like too much, like, I know it's healing, but it feels too radical. But at the same time, sometimes I need one, sometimes I'll do the other one. Depends on how I feel. So the first one, like, we want to do 3 times. So we're going to just do it like a karate chop here. So now I'm just showing you what I learned. And so I'm not the pro here, just, something that's worth doing that I do all the time. So let's say, I don't know, want to shoot me an emotion, a problem you have right now, or what do I have for a problem right now? Because you want to say, okay, let's say, even though I have a blank right now on how I'm feeling, because sometimes it happens, okay? Even though I have a blank, even though I don't know how I'm feeling right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you would do that 3 times. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you would go on the head. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling right now, so we go right here on the temple. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling right now, I deeply, so under the nose, under here, on the chin, here, just where the collarbone ends, look, somewhere there. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling right now, and I'm just gonna go for us ladies, it's under the boobie line. So guys, just imagine boobies on you and just tap around here. You can also do like this for like the gorilla style. So even though I don't know how I'm feeling, and it's just gonna go here on the gamut point, which is between the 2 knuckles here. It's a soft part. Even though I don't know how I'm feeling, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So now after that, you close your eyes, and it's important. I always have water because your brain needs water, and when you go through the energetic circulation, you need water. Also, if you cry, it's always a good idea to have water and a box of Kleenex. I always have my box of Kleenex near my computer in my EFT because I cry for an hour every week with my coach. We just for an hour. It's pretty awesome. So then you would close your eyes. You can still chop. You can tell for yourself the story. Yeah, I don't know right now. Or if you're crying, oh my God, my boyfriend. Oh, my girlfriend, she did this. Oh, my kids. Oh, my job. Whatever. Just as you're telling yourself and figuring out how you're feeling, just go like this. And then you're going to go into what's the most prominent emotion you're feeling right now. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling really angry that I don't feel angry right now. I feel pretty good. So it's hard, which is really weird. I did it earlier though. Oh, what did I tap earlier? Oh yeah. I'll just show you the example of what I tapped. Because at one point, one perspective that came into my mind is the guy. I watched Aladdin and the King of Thieves tonight with my girls. And so Aladdin doesn't know his dad. He was in the street and he saw parents, the dad is supposed to tell you who you are and show you who you are. And he didn't grow up with his dad. So being in the street and being called street rat, all of this thing. And then the guy I fell in love with, he told me his story, and tonight was like, I don't understand. Like, in a way, I'm like, I kind of feel like Jasmine, this princess with all of this stuff. And then it made me conscious of how blessed I was for my own upbringing, even though, it was not perfect and there was no emotional, couldn't really be too emotional. But other than that, like, I remember all the good times I had with my dad and all the good times. I never doubted that was not love. I never been abused. Like, I never had anything bad other than my own anxiety and feeling stressed all the time. I mean, it's pretty bad because you live in your own mind and you're always stressed about everything. But at the same time, that was just me. I didn't go through anything very bad in my family. I had loving parents. We had so much fun. I have lots of great memories. And so what came to me is like, this guy, like, even though we would have been together or who knows one day, like, I cannot relate to him. Like, I cannot even imagine not having a loving family, or not, like, I cannot imagine growing up surrounded by drugs or alcohol or any crime or violence. I cannot imagine it because I didn't live it. And it got me to be grateful for all that I had. And the emotion that I had was not that I'm grateful, was, wow, I was so ungrateful for all that I had for the past 2 years. I was so upset. Like, I was in a low vibration of anger and seeing things I didn't have. And so tonight, that was the thing I was crying about. And so I was like crying like a lot, even though I'm ungrateful to my parents and, for everything I had in my childhood. And also, I think I said, even though I miss being young again, being surrounded by my loving parents and family, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, because it's the truth. Honestly, my mom passed away, and I'm like, looking into me, I keep doing dessert because that's how, like, we were doing dessert together. And, like, all the little things that remind me of my mom, their habits that I'm doing, that now, like, I want to eat healthier. Like, I'm eating healthier, and I don't feel like I would eat like her pudding shomer and make little fudge balls and just like all our dessert. And I'm like, but I don't feel like eating them anymore. So in a way, I'm feeling like if I don't do them, feels like a part of me is going away because I don't have that connection with her. When I do all these dessert, like, that was her thing, doing dessert. But now I don't eat dessert as much, and I feel sad about that. And maybe I'll cry, and I'm okay if I cry, because I miss her, and then I miss all the good times I had with my dad, even though, he's been a jerk for the past few years. But other than that, and that's just the perspective I have. So maybe I was a jerk to him, or maybe I was a jerk to myself. He's a reflection of how I treat myself, and I was the biggest jerk on earth towards myself. I treat other people very well. Me was not so much. But yeah, so I'm trying to discover who I am. And in this, as I was being raised and grown up, doing dessert was something we did a lot. Like, doing big dinner parties with our family and friends. And I'm like, I don't have anybody to invite, or not I don't have anybody, but I don't have big parties. I'm not surrounded by all my friends as before. I don't have all of this that brings me back to who I was when I was younger and when I was happy with my family. So it makes me sad. So what I would do, even though I'm sad, I don't know what. So now I would just say it out loud, just thinking out loud. I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to know what's the biggest emotion in me. Sometimes you might say, okay, I have pain in my shoulder, or I have a pain in my neck, or my head hurts. And it could just be, even though my head hurts, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my head hurts, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my head hurts, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. My head hurts. You can just say, yeah, my head hurts. My head hurts. Doesn't matter what you're saying actually at those points. Because the thing is just, as I say this, like, this is to program your brain. This is what I'm working right now, brain. Even though my head hurts, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you're programming your brain here by doing this, so that it knows that in the next point you're gonna touch, are gonna deal with this. So these points are in your energetic system. There are I don't know the words. I'm not the pro again. I'm still not the pro, but it works on releasing some of the blockage in your body. I will remember it at one point, and if you know the answer, you get a good shout out. Thank you for the answer. So you would just do, my head hurts. You just see the problem. My head hurts. My head hurts. My head hurts. My head hurts. Yeah, my head hurts. My head hurts. It's under here. And my head hurts. You can just see the problem. And then here, take a deep breath. And then you would go on a scale of 1 to 10. How's your pain? Oh, right now, I would say maybe a 8 out of 10. Okay. And I take another deep breath. So you know your head hurts. Now, you're going to either try to feel something in your body, something else might move. You might say, oh, so what's coming up? Or sometimes you're going to have thoughts that are going to come up. For me, every time we take a break, let's say I was angry at someone. And then she said, okay, so now what's coming up? What's coming up in your body? What's coming up in your thoughts? I'm like, well, that reminds me of when I was 5 years old or when I was in high school, this person did this. Okay, well, tell me about your experience with that person 20 years ago. And then we're going to tap it again. Then you go again. You can tap it again here, but you're still working on it. So you can just go, the truth is, and even then, this is the other part that she does, like my therapist, that's one thing, can just say either, well, my friend hurt me, my friend hurt me, my friend hurt me, my friend hurt me, or I felt abandoned, I felt rejected. And but what I like about this lady is when we do this, I would cry, oh, I'm angry. It's like, the truth is, I am angry. Because the problem is, one thing that we do is we push our emotion down. Oh, I shouldn't be angry. For me, it was a big thing. Being angry was unacceptable. It was unacceptable. I cannot be angry. I'm loving. How can I be angry at someone if I'm loving? Like, this is my whole character. I'm this generous, loving person. I cannot be angry. So push it down. But now it's like, the truth is, I am mad at this person. I am angry. She did this. I am hurt. I am so what's good is you tell the truth. So if you have kids at home, I am mad Joe said that about me. I am hurt. Like, I feel like she's not my friend anymore. And then you just tap it. But you still love, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So it doesn't matter what's coming up. As long as you do those points, it's great. And then take a deep breath, take a sip of water as well. And go, what do I do? Let's say, just for fun like that. Even though I am not a popular influencer yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm not popular influencer yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am not a popular influencer yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Because now you're telling your brain, you don't have to be successful to love yourself. You don't have, you can be angry, but you still love yourself. You can hate yourself, but you still love yourself. And I don't know if it makes sense. Give me a thumbs up or a high five or a number 1, or say, yes, it makes sense if it makes sense. I need to get more engagement. I'm sorry, I'm working on this. And then you would go like, even though I am not a popular influencer yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am not a popular influencer yet. Awesome, thanks. I got Rock here who's answering. Awesome, thank you. I don't want to shame people here. Maybe a little bit. I really don't care. But I want to make sure that it makes sense what I say. It makes sense to me, but I think a lot, so a lot of things make sense very quickly. And I want to make sure the way I say it, if it doesn't make sense, I'll find a new way to make sure that you guys learn it how it's supposed. Well, how it's gonna be better for you. All right. Even though I'm not this popular influencer yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. If you feel like shit, even though I feel like shit, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. If you feel shame, if you feel, I don't know, how you feeling, Rock? Or I don't know here on, because I'm on StreamYard, so I don't know. On Facebook, let me see if I can see comments. I see there's someone on my Facebook Live. There's one person. So do I have 3 people? Yes. The goal here, if I can help one person, I help everyone. Because that's one thing I learned and that I find really, really awesome is when you heal yourself, you heal others as well. You are better at articulating your thoughts than you give yourself credit. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I don't give myself a lot of credit. And yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or maybe you're just super smart. Maybe you. See, I'm still putting myself down and giving you the credit for understanding. And I speak fast as well. But thank you. I appreciate. I will take it. It's hard sometimes to say thank you. Classic Facebook, I guess. I'm just looking here on Facebook because I'm on, for those who weren't there. So Rock, you weren't there at the beginning. I am on StreamYard as well. I'm trying this thing here. Because tomorrow I'm doing a StreamYard with a friend from Australia. And working this. And apparently if you're an influencer, if I want to get if I'm a speaker and get my message across somehow, StreamYard is one of the way to go. And tapping time, let's see. Yeah, there's a delay, so it's super cool. Wanna get my message across somehow? It's so uncomfortable to watch me after. But I'm learning. It's okay. I don't have to watch me after. I'm watching myself live. Yeah. So let's say one thing, like just this that you're saying, that I don't give myself credit for achievements or for something. Even though I don't give myself credit for my achievements, because honestly, a lot of time in high school, I was the one, I've always been an overachiever and doing group work. I'm like, give me your part, I'll just put it all together. Because for me, I was going for the 100%. Some people on my team were like, as long as I pass, I'm good. But, passing and understanding it and applying it is, it's 2 different levels. So I'm like, give me your part. I feel like I'm going to do a better job at, I'm reading their part. I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, how can I put that together? Thank you. You got the basic of the work, and I'll just finish it up. And of course, that was a group program, but a group project. But I always, thought, well, we got a good grade because I did the finishing touch. So I didn't give a lot of credit to a lot others for a while. But now there's a lot of things I do, and people are like, well, this is the credit to you. No, you did the work. Like, you're the one who did this. Like, I just asked you a good question, but now you're thanking me because I asked you a good question. I have a hard time, as in my grief. One thing I can say is, I don't know. I felt ashamed. Honestly, I felt ashamed. I was not sad that my husband was dead. I'm like, oh my God. Like, seriously, I felt ashamed. I felt like I was not at the right place. I'm like, am I crazy? I don't know, am I like mentally ill? Because that kind of came up at one point, maybe bipolar. I'm like, I was afraid. People like kept making joke about psychopath. I'm like, am I a psychopath? Like, I'm not even sad. My husband is dead. Like now I did live my emotions like in the past year, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I got money, but am I happy because I have money and not my husband? Because now I get a second chance at love with someone else. Obviously, there's all of this. I'm like, the next person is gonna be pretty awesome because my husband was like this. Now, if I'm honest, and all the stuff that I didn't like, I can find someone else being even better because I know things I improve. So I'm gonna have someone who's like at my level now that I was not there. But the important is not judge who I was then, because that's who I was. Oh, and be grateful for the process that got me here. So my next man is gonna have to be very grateful that my husband died, because the only reason I'll be with this guy is because the first one died. But even for me, like I know I make jokes, but right now that doesn't trigger me. Talking about this doesn't trigger me. Like the hardest part was not him not being here. Well, of course, I had to raise 2 kids by myself. But it's all the way people treated me after his death, the way I treated myself, obviously, but also all the past traumas that came up. And I'm like, I didn't know you were a narcissist, or I didn't know I didn't know that that makes sense now. Like, there's a lot of things, like, I would just have blind eyes on a lot of things and just like, well, that's how they are. And I'm like, now I don't accept it anymore. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I accepted these behaviors for a long time. Whew. But yeah, so like one of my defense mechanism, that I guess was the preferred method of my brain when I was younger, especially in love. I had this crush on this guy, a few guys in high school. And if someone, like at one point, somebody said, you and him would make a cute couple. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm spotted. Excuse my language. I'm spotted. And then if the guy hasn't made the move yet, and maybe it's obvious that I'm into him, but I'm not someone who's that obvious. Maybe I am and I just don't know it. I don't see signs from people when they're interested. Now I see them more, but maybe I'm the naive person, or I would say, well, maybe he does that with everyone. That's not special to me. Like I didn't even give myself the credit that I was special. I had this guy in high school, like he sat beside me and we were reading, and he had his arm behind my back, and was like, oh my God. But I never did anything about that. Even one guy said, well, are you gonna get together? And I turned that switch off, my friend. I'm like, yep. Somebody said something about it. I am done. I'm sorry. This is no. But I still love the guy so much. I go like, he was with a girlfriend. I'm like, well, he's got a girlfriend, that's all fine. But like, I would just, even one of the guys I stopped talking to, he did nothing wrong. And I'm like, he's like, what did I do wrong? Why are you not talking to me anymore? I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because I was so in love with the guy. And it was just like, you haven't done the first step. I am not going down that road of maybe being rejected. So that was the way my brain worked before. And always making sure, agreeing with what other people felt. So when that guy 2 years ago of the harassment, I call him the harassment guy, but I don't want to say his name. I'll say it was a waiter. And like we were chatting online, by text, 2-3 hours a day for over a month and a half. So I know a girl can have, thinking that things are going well with the person, and you go meet 4 times. Yeah, there were some red flags, but at the end of the day, red flags. I thought about it this week. It's like my husband, okay, with cancer. Okay, you could say, 4% chances of surviving 5 years. Big red flag, you're dying. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's 96% of you that's gonna die. And then as soon as there's a tumor, well, the tumor is kind of proving your point. Red flag, proving your point. So if I'm doubting that the guy isn't to me, like maybe he is. Like we're talking so much, like so much, and I feel all this passion inside of me. But at the same time, if I doubt that, maybe how does he feel? And then you're going to start seeing red flags that maybe are not there, but they're going to just reflect you how you feel. And like, this is a red flag. But instead of saying, oh, maybe I have a problem, or of trusting the person or trusting myself, my intuition, then I start like, this is like, I would overlook red flags. Because in the end, there are miracles that happen overnight. I know a guy, and I talk to people that show me that the miracles that they go through with their health. Like for me, it was very important to feel safe within my health. Because cancer has been prominent in my family. And so I do have anxiety about the subject once in a while, but now I know the universe has my back. So I know I'm living to 110 years old. Mark my word. So the red flags is just, if I see something in someone, it's something that's within me. Now I know that, but and the guy said, you're so toxic, like you don't know how to give up. No, I don't know how to give up, because when I want something, I'll get it. And if I'd given up, my husband would probably have died before that. And I would not have been at peace with everything that happened. So no, I'm not giving up, because then I will fight for what is right. And I will fight for everything that I don't give up. If I have a goal, I won't give up. Once I'm clear on what I want, I don't give up. Why? I don't want to say I'm not a loser, but why would I give up? I don't quit. I trust my intuition a lot. Giving up is for quitters, exactly. And what like Lisa Nichols says, winners never quit, quitters never win, or something like this. Anyway, yeah, I push these boundaries a lot. And whatever, but at the same time, if I just add more confidence within myself, because now there was a little bit of jealousy going on within me. Like he was talking about stuff that could be seen as a red flag. Yeah, he's talking to the other girls. He's going to do this with her instead of me. I'm like, I can see it as a red flag that he doesn't care about me. Or I can say, Marie-Ève, what does it reflect about you? Is that you don't care about your own time. You don't care about yourself. And so he's just reflecting that. He's reflecting that you're not trusting this thing right now. So, but now knowing the whole mirror work, I'm on the Twin Flame Universe on Facebook. If you ever go on that, and they show us, like, tell us about the mirror work. What I see in others, like I say, he abandoned me, and we're like, he abandoned me, and then you can do your tapping at the same time. But he abandoned me, and then because we know everything is a mirror of ourselves, it's our relationship from us to us, or some people would say the relationship from them to God. Because if you give your love to someone else, you're not giving it to yourself at the moment. So, he abandoned me. Now you would switch that to, I abandoned me. Because if I'm giving it to him, I'm not giving it to me. If I'm thinking about his emotion, I'm not thinking about my emotion. So going through this, well, now he abandoned me turns to I abandoned myself. Yeah. Is it true? I sure did. Yeah. And then after that, you have to go and give love to that part of you that feels abandoned. And you can do that like by just imagining like yourself saying, okay, well, what do you need to feel love? What does this part of you need to feel love? And in one of my other course, what we do is let's say you imagine, okay, feeling of abandonment. Where, like, you scan your body. And what does it feel? Like, where do you feel it? You feel it here or you feel it here? Take the energy, put it outside your body. Just make sure, like, your body, tell your body that it's going to go back. And then give it a color. Okay, so the energy that feels abandoned is yellow. And then you talk to that energy, just like you would talk to your emotion and say, okay, what do you want? What's your role? What are you here for? Follow the host. Thank you. Thank you, Chloe. So yeah, and when we do this, you talk to that energy as if it's someone in front of you. Okay, so you feel abandoned. What happened and what do you want? So your role of that feeling still being here, a lot of time their role is to protect you. Your emotion are there a lot of time to protect you. My anger, through doing this exercise, my anger was there to protect me. Because there's one thing, I have this here. I love Abraham Hicks. last year I went to see her in Boston. I got this calendar here that has from the law of attraction. Just wanted to find the emotional scale, which you can find online as well. And for me, that was like, oh my God, because anger is a higher vibration than despair. And I'm just talking here like I'm done doing the tapping. You can still do the tapping. If you want me to show you again because you weren't there, it will be my pleasure. Oh, right here. So a scale of your emotion would look something like this. So I don't know if you can see. I'm just going to show it quickly here, just on this page here. And then here. This is, I don't know, it's backward. Yeah. Okay. Well, the lowest vibration emotion that you have can be fear, grief, depression, despair, and powerlessness. Oh, you're welcome. You're taking notes. And so after that, here, there's one higher, insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness. Then there's jealousy. So if you're feeling jealousy, you're on the negative side. And by the way, emotions are not positive or negative. They're just emotion. They have a role to be. They might be uncomfortable or not, but they are not negative, or it's the association we give them. So we associate being jealous or being sad with being negative. Oh, I'm living in negative emotion. No, you're just living in emotion. It's your sadness is there because I don't have my notes there, but like sadness just shows that there's something's missing, like, and you have to acknowledge it. And that's one thing this week I noticed, and I think I've been working with it a lot in the past few years, and I've been doing all these personal development courses, and I mean, like, I went deep. Like I did like one after the other, getting busy all the time, keeping myself busy. But now I'm wondering if all of this was not so I don't feel the void. I was I did redo all my house, like the materialistically speaking, and I can still go shopping a lot for toys with my kids, but I never had that much money. So at the same time, like I'm not stopping myself. Like I will, like I'm still pretty decent at how I manage my money, but I don't have to say no every time. I can allow myself to go, okay, let's go do a shopping spree on toys, or let's go get some new clothes. No, I don't have to wear the same clothes for 10 years. I can actually go get new clothes and not just whatever is on sale. I can get something that's pretty that I really like. And a lot of guilt around that that money I got. Anyway, so guilt is also a low vibration emotion. I don't know what story I was telling here and why I was saying it. Anyway, then there's jealousy. After that, there's hatred and rage, revenge, anger, discouragement, blame, worry, doubt, disappointment. So somebody, like a lot of time, we don't know what people are going through. So we'll see people who are angry. So that's one side. And then you got like frustration, pessimism, boredom, contentment, hopefulness, optimism, positive expectation and belief, enthusiasm, happiness, passion, joy, love, appreciation. So it goes up a little higher. So if you are someone who's in the hopefulness or who's in the passion vibration, and you see someone who's angry, you're like, dude, like calm down, like seriously. But you don't know, for that person, saying all that they have on their heart, like saying all that anger to someone else or whatever, expressing their anger, however it comes out, maybe for them it's a relief on their emotion. Maybe they felt suicidal the day before. One of my friends that I've learned, came to talk to and learn in the past year and a half, he was suicidal for 12 years. I cannot imagine waking up. Like, I'm afraid of waking up one day and wanting to end it. But for 12 years, he thought every day. I don't think it was manipulation. I really think that, that's what was going on. He even tried to take his life once or twice. I don't know. And then he felt guilty because he told his ex-girlfriend that she deserved to die or whatever. Like he's like, I feel so bad. Like now, looking at it now, I don't know how I can live with myself. I don't know, like, but I said, so you said that, okay, yeah, okay, that was not cool, obviously, and you're aware of that. And he said, and I said that like 2 days after I tried to commit suicide. And I was like, well, can you not be compassionate toward yourself that, one day you're trying to kill yourself because you're desperate and you have nothing, and the next day you are angry, or 2 days later you're angry and telling people you should go all to hell and die. That's if we go like with the scale here, despair, depression, grief is the last one, and then going to anger, which is 1, 2, or hatred. We'll go with hatred. 1, 2. That's 3 higher. Like that's 3 emotions level higher. So for me, which would be unacceptable. Like right now, he sees that it was unacceptable to say those things to her. But at the moment, that was a relief of him. That was better than feeling despair. If you're the person who's not talking to anyone and you're just in your own bubble and you feel like dying, well, actually saying someone to fuck off, that's better than being in your own head thinking you want to die. Go tell people to fuck off if that's what's going to help. Because then once you express outside, what's going on, then you're going to go, maybe I want to do a revenge. And then you're going to go higher, going to have anger. Maybe you're going to feel discouraged. But feeling discouraged and desperate are 2 different things. And they are like 6 point different. So for us who are like people who are in joy and like, life is so pretty. What's his problem? What's his deal at this guy? What's going on with this guy who's like super angry at the world? But at the same time, we don't know where that person was the day before, or even the morning of, or like 5 minutes before. We don't know what has happened. And that's one thing that struck me the most, because now that means I gotta stay in my own vibration. If I'm in joy, if I'm in like enthusiasm, it's not the top one, but I think right now maybe I'm sure I'm positive expectation and belief. I think I'm there. I sometimes go live the other emotion, but they're just emotions. Emotions will come and go. Once they've done their job, they go away. So that's why it's important to listen to your body when it's hurting something, and listen to your thoughts, and just know that thoughts are just that, thoughts. So that's like, just for me, like suicide was a big thing, because I don't want people, like I don't want kids to commit suicide. I am sure if we take better care of them, of their mental health, like not just mental health, being a support to people around us, there's a lot of things that could, we would grow up as healthy adults. And I think it's something I would like to work at one point, how for kids to know their own worth, so that regardless of what's happening in school with other people, regardless of what people tell them, you are ugly. Well, if you believe it, then you're gonna take it personal. Yeah, I am ugly. Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so ugly. But if you know your worth, well, I'm sorry you think I'm ugly. I think I look pretty damn hot, and if you see that I am ugly, well, just know that everything around you is a reflection of how you feel within yourself, and I'm sorry that's how you feel. Like, you'll be able to take your power back and not let people's word mess you up. I know you're a bad mom. I know I'm a good mom. I'm doing a great job. Thank you for your opinion. Whatever you see in me is what's within you. I apologize for that. But like, at least if you can just take ownership on what I'm being told. One example that I heard one point, it was pretty awesome. Have a great night. Well, it's a great day. I'm going to have a great day tomorrow. Thanks, Rock. Thanks for being there again. I appreciate you being here. Rock on. Peace out. And the example was the purple nose. So it's like someone tells you, you have a purple nose. Well, are you going to cry about it? Are you going to like, you said I have a purple nose? Obviously not, because, you know it's not true. Then, if someone says you're ugly, it's not true, then just say, doesn't affect me, because You know it's not true. Like, but you have to know it's not true, obviously, because otherwise, if you think it's true, if you don't take power in you, within you, everything people say around you will affect you. I know. I've been there. Been there, done that. I'm tired of that. I was tired of that. Also, I was tired of my own critiques saying I was ugly. I was the worst. Like, people like didn't tell me those things often. I was the one telling it to me. But my brain does not know if it's me who's talking or if it's someone else who's talking or if it's just a thought. So now that I know that, I'm going to make sure first that my kids hear it from me, all the positive stuff about them, and that I'm going to make sure that their inner speech reflects that positive thinking about themselves. Because once you love yourself and once you are your own source of happiness and don't depend on others, then you can give freely and receive freely and not having to deal with giving just because you want to please someone. I was a people pleaser. I like to reciprocate. I also like to reciprocate just in general, but I noticed I did a lot of things to please people to make sure that we would, to make sure that I was not going to be abandoned. And I noticed I did so much work because, and giving it all away, just doing so much work because, I don't know, thinking that, I don't know, the more I give, like my husband, like, of course he loves me. Do you see all I do for him? Do you see all I do for him? And now like, he was doing a lot, but there was this image. I'll just draw it. I don't have a pencil somewhere. I'm just going to check. Okay. I think it was on TikTok. I love TikTok. TikTok is almost kind of my therapist. I don't know for you guys. I learned a lot of stuff on there. Not just about videos are funny. A lot of content that's very, very useful. But the example was this. It's a square. I'm just going to show it here. A circle and a square. So let's say you are the square right here. You're the square, and this is you, what your needs are. What your needs are this. This is your partner here, the circle. So you feel by being you, just by being you, by being yourself, you feel your partner's needs easily. And you feel so happy, like, oh my God, you feel all my needs. And then you got these corners here. And I think it was on TikTok. But you got these corners that, for you, your needs are not met. Because, yeah, he doesn't know that your needs are not met. And then you feel frustrated. Like, why? Why am I feeling frustrated? You can go, I don't know why I'm feeling frustrated. Even though I don't know why I'm feeling frustrated, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know why I'm feeling frustrated, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know why I'm feeling frustrated, I deeply and fully, completely love and accept myself. Then you go, feeling, what did I say? I'm feeling, I don't know. You would say, I'm feeling blah. I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling blah, I deeply and fully love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling blah, I deeply and fully and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling blah, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling blah, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you just notice again, okay, how am I feeling? Am I still feeling this? Is it as strong? Did the emotion go a little lower? Instead of being like 8 out of 10, you want to maybe give yourself a number on the scale of 1 to 10 before you start and see if the feeling goes away. For me, I had like a 10 out of 10 of angry at my mother-in-law. And after doing like 20 minutes of this, I was like, she's like, okay, now cry. Like, go in the emotion, go into when she's hurt, like when she's saying those things. Like, I'm tired of feeling like this. I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm just done. Even though I'm tired of feeling tired, or even though I'm tired of this. And you can go, the truth is, for me, I love this statement. The truth is, I'm tired. And then as you go, I'm tired of feeling tired. I'm tired of being treated like that. I'm tired of doing everything by myself. I'm tired of whatever. It's the truth. And I validated my own truth. I'm tired, but it's okay. I deeply and fully and completely love and accept myself. And then you're like, okay, what's coming up now? Oh, at one point there was for me, it was like, feels like I want to cry. It feels like there are like little, my tear ducts are filling. I don't know why. It's like, even though I don't know why I want to cry, it's okay. I know I'll have the answer. What could make me? I could just say pretty much like, the basic thing is, even though blah blah, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Then you can go with the therapist, and she's gonna like really go into deep and like, the truth is, this is how I feel. Honestly, this is how I feel. And just like, you allow yourself to feel how you feel, because how you feel is valid. You feel mad at this person for doing this. Well, with reason, you should feel mad. That was not fair, or that was not good, or just feel that anger. Because if you don't feel it, it's going to go stuck somewhere in your body. And then, one day somebody's going to just say one thing, and that anger is going to come up. It's not the anger of what that person would have said. It's the anger of the emotion that was repressed for a while ago. And there's another way of doing, I know like it's been an hour and a half. I'm here for Facebook and YouTube. I'm chatting a lot. I love to chat. It's a live. It's not a little thing. I'm on TikTok. I'm just enjoying the company. Thank you for your company. I appreciate having some people online. And so the way I've learned to do some tapping in my life coaching courses, we would do the same thing. Even though blah, 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 I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Do that 3 times. Then we don't do the head. We would just say the problem. So even though I feel tired, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. 3 times. I feel tired. I feel tired. You just do it on the side here. On the bone here. I feel tired. I feel tired. I feel tired. And then this one, in my course, we do it on the nipple. Because there's a line, there's a meridian line apparently that goes somewhere here. So you do it on your nipple. I feel tired. I feel tired. Then you start again here. I feel tired. Then you go with your thumb. So you would go, so like this. You would hit here, just on this side here. So I use my right hand. It looks like maybe a left hand on TikTok. I would use my right hand and then just tap on the side of my finger here, my thumb. Tap on the side of this finger. Tap here. Skip the middle, skip the ring finger and go on this one here. Then go on the gamut point. So it's between those 2 knuckles here, down there. Then once this is done, this one is a big loop. You can do just a little one that would go like this, down, stops here. Then once you start doing the fingers, you want to do this. And then you want to keep tapping. And then you're going to look down to your right. Not your head, just your eyes. So you're going to do down right, down left, do a big circle to the left, to the right, do a big circle to the left, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay? So that one is, you can take notes, but that one is a little more complicated than the regular tapping. So I would go, I'm tired, look down right. Look down left, I'm tired. And you just repeat the problem. Then you're going to circle your eyes to the right, but you want to make sure you fill a big circle. Because what does that do is your brain, last time it was tired, your brain was not that, what do I want to say? Like working. I'm tired. Yeah, now I'm tired. My eyes are working. My left brain is working as I'm saying things. My right brain is talking as I'm moving. As you're tapping, it works your I don't know in English, the little brain in the back part. So by doing all of this, it changes how your brain is wiring its connection. So with the same emotion, like feeling blah, I'm tired, or I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Do the circle the left. I'm tired. And then what do we do? Keep tapping, close your eyes. I'm tired. And then you hum something. Then you keep tapping, and you would say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whichever. And then you would hum again. Then you open your eyes and you start again, just the beginning. So I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, and on your I'm tired, your nipple, and down here. And that's how you end. So I did that one too. If I have a big emotion or something that feels very, very yucky, sometimes if I want to have a good cry, I'll just do the truth is somebody hurt me. The truth is I feel like this. But sometimes if I want to get it like more rationally, because that's a neuroscience technique. So I would go with the left, right, because I want to make sure that all my brain is being triggered, is being working to change that wiring, which is pretty effective. My teacher, he's a psychologist, and all of this technique was done under MRI. So everything has been, okay, if we touch here or here or here, what's the best spot to touch? So here and then here. So it's not here, it's here. That's the best energetically speaking. But with this, because the goal is just to live the emotion. Once you've gone through the emotion, you're like, that was a good cry. That felt so good. And then your body releases it, and then it's gone. And you're like, something else is gonna pop up, which is awesome. Now, like, I find life is like a video game. Okay, I live this emotion now. What's next in my reality? What's gonna come up? What am I gonna get for support? Or what event, what opportunity is gonna come up after this? And even on TikTok, I'm like, okay, how, after I'm doing a lot of these, because every time I'm just gonna plug my phone here. Oh, that's not the right plug. Every time I go through an emotion, well, I'll just release something, and then I have, then I have a new perspective on life. I'm like, well, this is not frustrating anymore. So it does not preoccupy my brain as much as it did. And I can let go of this. Now I go on TikTok, and I'm like, hey, those tarot oracle reading, they're changing. All the videos I see, the content is changing because my vibration changed. It's pretty cool. So I highly recommend this. And going through my grief, now I can say, well, I know I'm taking on a lot of people's emotion. I think I'm an empath. I'm not quite sure, but there's a lot of things I'm like, okay, I gotta learn how to not deal with it. But at the same time, I think it's because what people go through affects me it has some link with something in my past. Because everybody I meet, doesn't matter what vibration, everybody I meet, we have something in common. And this is pretty awesome. It's like, we're at the same level, like in our growth. We're on the same level we're learning the same thing right now. We are at the same level. So like, that's why we meet soulmate. Like soulmate, we have so much in common. Of course you have so much in common. Love attraction. You attract who you are. You attract things from you. You attract people that you need for your growth. Like you attract people who've gone through things, and you're like, that triggers something in you. So you grow and then heal it and then go to the next level, which is going to bring you more people. Or people's behavior. If you heal yourself from within, your vibration radiates and it heals people around you. It heals your family. I'm like, okay, so I'm a little bit tired of doing the healing for everyone around me. I know everybody's going through their own journey as well. They're healing in their own way. But I'm rising. And for me, if I rise, people, if they want to be in my reality so if they want to still be in touch with me, talk to me, or it's not that I don't want to talk to them, but vibrationally in my energy, I push people out who are not a match to me anymore. So if I'm higher and I can positive expectation and you are in jealousy or something, there's a pretty high chance that we're not going to be talking, not because we don't want to, but because our energy are pushing against each other. Yeah, I'm not letting this in, so you stay there. It's not because I don't love you, just I'm somewhere else. And no, I'm not better than you. We're just not a match energetically at the moment. which I find pretty like impressive. For me, knowing about energies like that, it's like mind blowing. That I would think, as I'm seeing it now, I'm like, as much as I think people, I'm like, they don't love me and I did something wrong. No, we're just not on the same level. We're not matching anymore. So it's not because I hate them, or it's not because they hate me. Although it may sound like it may seem like it as you're living your emotion and like, yeah, I'm mad. I'm not talking to them because I'm mad. But at the same time, it's your energy. You're pushing each other off. That's the one thing about that I really am grateful that I found the twin flame community, because we talk about this. Your twin flame, which is like your perfect mate on the planet, is got the same soul as you. You're the same energy, same essence, same consciousness. Once you trigger something in that person, your energy, if you're pushing to get something from them, they just get like, we're not a match, because I'm like, I want it so bad. He's like, yeah, I don't want it because, it's a trigger. But then at one point, people start attracting each other when we go higher. Twin flames, the goal is to heal the traumas, generational traumas, and then meet up in the love emotion. So as long as you have some yuckies, a lot of the yuckies, you're supposed to meet there, and like right now you're like this, so you're not together. But as I'm saying it tonight, I'm like, yeah, it can make sense when I love people. It's not that they don't like me. It's not that I don't like them. Just we're not. I just kind of a lot of the time as I'm talking, I see a lot of explanation in what I'm saying. I just say it. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then I take a new perspective on my life and see something else. It's pretty cool. So I've been angry at my dad for a few months, a few years now. Like I'm trying to get him back, and not get him back, but again, trying. God, the universe has your back. And now I'm learning how to let go. I don't know for you, but I know for me, it's hard to let go of things, because I feel like, I know it's the ego. I don't know for you if you know, it's the ego that's trying to not die. But it feels like I'm afraid of dying, but it's just the ego working on that. But yeah, so I was just gonna show some tapping. It's been here for an hour and 47 minutes, which is great. I had fun. I'm gonna try. That's something I want to try. I know I'm perfecting things. Like I'm not perfect. I'm doing lives that last it could last for 4 hours. I think one day I did my first live, chat for 4 hours about stuff, and just I like talking. That's one thing. I need to work on connecting with the audience a little more, and knowing more about you guys. So I don't know who's still there. I think is Chloe still there? If you're still there, you can say hi, or whoever is on TikTok, because you're the only one I'm talking to right now. You can say hi, I'm still there, if you want to. Where are you from? I don't know who's there, but whoever is there, where are you from? I'll be interested in knowing who's there. And it's okay if you don't. If you're shy, it's okay. I understand. But anyway, so yeah. Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, I'm not quite sure. I know I'm not wasting your time. Not that TikTok's a waste of time. There's a lot of things, but at one point in social media, we have to think of other things. But there's a lot of learning to be done. I find I'm learning a lot about myself through people's stories, which I find pretty awesome. And but yeah, so that's pretty much it for tonight. It's 10:25. I do have to go to bed because tomorrow morning I got this StreamYard with my friend Daisy from Australia. So 7 a.m. I haven't gotten up earlier than that for a long time. So I will go try to go to sleep. Maybe I'll listen to something. I don't know. That is I will say that's the new thing I learned tonight, watching Facebook. Kevin Ray, I think his name is. He's a speaker, really great. I love him. If you can follow him, amazing. He said Instead of saying, oh, I'm tired. Oh, this is so hard. Just say, it's easy. It's simple. It's easy. It's fun. And then you repeat yourself this all day. Oh, being a single mom. It's easy. It's simple and it's fun. Being a student. It's easy. It's simple and it's fun. Getting up in the morning. It's easy. It's simple and it's fun. And then you're tricking your brain thinking that. And then when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be simple. And love attraction is going to match what you're thinking. I love the love attraction. For me, I notice what I think I see outside. You're always right. You are always, always right. So maybe you should think about being right about the right things. Oh, this guy doesn't love me. I know that. Then the universe will say, yeah, okay, you're right. He doesn't love you. There you go. Here's the behavior you need to prove your point. Or you say, oh my God, I'm going to get the job. I have a feeling. But the feeling is just the universe saying, oh, you believe you're going to have the job? Well, here, I'm going to give you things to prove your point. You're right. I'm going to live to 110. Okay, you're going to live to 110. Here, you're right. Boom. What do you want to be right about? I used to plan for so much, worst case scenario. So the universe will be like, well, okay. So you're thinking your husband has cancer? Okay, there. You're right. You thinking your husband's going to die? Okay, there. You're right. I'm going to give you all the proof that you can. Once you know that you're always right in your reality, because in somebody else's reality, you're not right, but in your own, you are always right. What do you want to be right about? Because that's going to play out. You want to say that your dad doesn't love you and he's this and that? The universe will say, okay, then. It's like a genie, except you have all the wishes that you want granted. And there's a part of your brain that's called the reticulum, the activated reticulum system or something. And it makes you see what you want to see. So it's like your Google. If for you, this is like the Google of your brain. You on Google, you would say, find me. No. I want to know more. I want to see old cars. Then you're going to have pictures of old cars. It's like, I would love to have an old car, like a vintage car. And then guess what? Your brain's going to see all the vintage car they didn't see before. Or it's going to attract them. Oh, one day, it was so awesome. Yeah, I would love to have one of those. I think it's a Cadillac. I'm not sure. The white car with the long front. Anyway. And as I was driving to Montreal, an hour drive, I started seeing I think that was 10 or 20 vintage cars just driving on the other side. I'm like, that is very strange. This is so cool. I thought about this, and now I thought about maybe one day I'll have a collection of these cars. And then just these cars just come popping up. I'm like, there must have been a convention or something. I don't know. But, okay, my brain did see them. Of course, I would see them, even though I'm done thinking about them because I like these cars. But at the same time, there were so many, law of attraction brought me what I was thinking about. When you go in a parking lot, I'm like, oh, one day I would love to have an Audi or, have a brand name car, a higher end car. And maybe an Audi. For a while, I was thinking Audi. And then I go in a parking lot. And when you park your car in a parking, you notice the cars that you're parked around. Yes, there's nobody around me. And then you come back, there's this shitty car with the bumper that's falling apart. Or there's this car, regular car. But at one point, I was parked in Montreal in the underground parking. There was nobody around me. I came back. There were 3 Audis, 1 BMW, and one more high-end brand car. I'm like, okay, I cannot, it's not that I'm inventing this stuff. They weren't there before. So I'm attracting the cars. Oh, maybe I should say I want a high-end guy. Oh, man, that's good. Because I've been manifesting a lot of guy with issues. But I had issues, too. I was doing my healing. Ooh, that's a good one. It's I want a high-end car. I attract a lot of high-end car. Now I want a high-end man. Oh my God. I'm someone who likes to talk out loud because I get all of these things coming out. Oh my God, damn. I do my own brainstorming. But yeah. So anyway, I want a good night's sleep, a restful night. And now I'm not that tired. I just am forcing myself to go to sleep. But yeah, so it was great chatting with you. I'm glad I helped some people. I had an amazing chat. Like, it was more of a monologue, but I do enjoy doing monologue. If you enjoy my monologue, then we're on the same page. Is good. I'm gonna try the next time to do them shorter. That's something I'm working on. I'm not in a hurry to work on it yet, but I'm working on slowly. Just have like 15-20 minute live on Facebook for my professional page, and just do like, okay, today we're gonna talk about this for 15 minutes, and then just go. Because after a while, like, it's rare people would stay for the 2 hours straight unless you have like content like the whole time and coaching. That's one thing. One thing I like with one of my group is that he will do his one like 15-minute segment, then he does group coaching. And this I love. This is why I would love to have a bunch of people tell me either their problem or tell me what's going on with them or some things that can just help people through that. I think at one point, wow, it's in the universe, sing it out loud, just to be able to help people with my knowledge. I think I do have a lot of knowledge. I will give credit to myself, like Rock said. I don't give credit enough to myself. Yeah, I do have a lot of knowledge, and I'm sure I know that if you're there, it's because there's something in my message that resonates with you, that either validates what you're going through or that is giving you a hint for your next step in your life. And that even though I am not the super like advanced coach that has 25 years of experience and does all of these things perfectly, and who's an expert in our field, the level that I have is enough for you guys. So I have to say that I am enough. I don't need to have 25 years to have an impact on people. And as long as I can have an impact on one person or two or three, it's great. With law of attraction, if you're there at this minute and you were not there for the last 2 hours, it's because there's a message that you were not supposed to hear, or that you were not meant to hear it, or you were not a match to that message, and you're a match to the message I'm saying now. And this is why I really enjoy, because if I miss, you go in a group, then you miss a conversation. Sometimes you're like, man, I missed something. But now I know through law of attraction and through vibration and energy that whatever was said in that group, you were not meant to hear it. It was not part of your vibration that you're in. So maybe this group was like chatting about someone in the group, or talking negatively or whatever. Then you arrive and your energy shifted the conversation. Oh, she came into the room and we stopped talking or changed subject. But it's an energy shift, which I find freaking awesome. I go to events and I'm like, I am not late anymore. And if something happens to me that will make me late, something else will happen to that person that will make them late as well. And honestly, pretty much 100% of the time, I'm pretty right. Maybe 90%, no, pretty much 100. At this time, like, since I started with this mindset, even 2 weeks ago, before my life coaching course, one of my friend and I, we were a study group, and I arrived from something, and I was gonna eat my lunch as we were doing our study, and then she messaged me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take 10 minutes, but I'll eat as. I'm not someone who likes to eat in front of people, especially if it's to study. But I was gonna do it. I was hungry, and then she sends me a message saying, I'm just gonna finish my phone call. Like, I'm on the phone right now, maybe about 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay? I'm like, take your time. I'm eating my lunch right now. It's all good. And then she literally messaged me, like, it took me 20 minutes to eat, and she messaged me at 21 minutes saying, okay, I'm ready. I mean, that's a pretty 3 people. I'm like, 3 people. That for me, I was like, well, that was not the first time I noticed that, but now I don't stress anymore. If you say I'm gonna be late for this thing, oh man, I'm quick, kids, we're gonna be late, quick. You're gonna be late. You're right. The universe will say, you're right. You're going to be quick. You're going to be late. Now I'm like, yeah, if I'm missing something in this show or in this conference or something, either they're going to start the show like when I get there, or whatever it was said, I either heard it before or was not something that was needed for my own personal growth. So I don't stress anymore. I really don't stress about that anymore. And now I know, for relationship wise, when I'll meet my person, my match, that I used to be that person like thinking, okay, oh, I like this guy. Oh, I already see us, getting married, moving in together. Like for me, like that's how, like, obviously that's how I saw myself. Like I fall in love very quickly, but I see, like, I have a vibe. Like I get a vibe. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. If I don't get that, what can happen in the future, if I don't see a future with the person, I don't want to start, cruising and flirting and doing all this stuff, because I don't, I already don't see you. I don't have the vibe of that with you. But if there's something like, I have a good vibe with this person, and you can start imagining that person in your future, you're not imposing the future on the person, but you're enjoying the thought. But now, instead of being like, oh my God, I need to have this, now it's more like, I know if things go well, this can happen. And what do I want? Do I want this to happen, or I want this to happen? The bad stuff. Now I know, I'm like, I don't need to rush into something, because if I like the guy, there's a pretty good chance that the guy likes me back. And then the universe is giving me all the hints. This guy likes you back. Because if I don't doubt about me, if I don't doubt about who I am, if I don't doubt about this connection, the universe is just going to say, well, here's what you believe. If you doubt it, let me believe you. Let me tell you, the universe is going to make you doubt. He's doing all of this, but here are the red flags. He's doing all of this, but here are the red flags. You're right to doubt that something's up. You make your own reality. So what the fudge do you want in your reality? Do you want to doubt? Do you want to say, yes, this is what's happening? Or do you want to say, no, there's a big chance that this is going to happen. But I want this. But this can happen. But which one do you want? Because you're getting it. You're getting it. I've learned this, and I've experienced it, and it's amazing. One day I'll write a book on that and all my experiences with energy and how things have happened. But not yet. It's going to happen. At one point, I know it's happening. I put December 31st for my draft, so we'll see. It's part of my course too, so I kind of have to do it. But I do it for myself. That's just so cool. It's just so cool. Anyway, I gotta go. You can go and learn more from other people online, or go waste your time. I might just waste my time a little bit on TikTok and see what other stuff. Because for me, I don't know. I love TikTok. I love to make some videos, especially with my kids. It's awesome. I love it. But it's. I'll be honest. It is a waste of time. I could use this to write my book. I could use the hour I do on TikTok a day to write my book. Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you for being there. It was a pleasure. Thanks for listening to me. I'll say blabbing, but I will be more positive about what I say about myself. Oh, thank you so much. And Jay, what we see in others is what's within ourselves, right? So I hope I will take the thank you. I'll receive it. Thank you so much. And I just want to make sure that you know that if you see those good vibes within me and I radiate that it's in you as well, okay? If you don't see it within you, it is there. That's the one thing I know. If you're there right now, it's because you have a good vibe. And you're awesome. I mean, I'm awesome. I'm not arrogant here. I can honestly say I'm pretty much one of the awesomest person I know. So if you're there with me, because you're one of the prettiest and awesomest person in the world. I know, awesome people hang out together. That was on one of my saying with my husband. Like we were saying, we're awesome. Like we're so awesome. You know the song from the Lego movie? Everything is awesome. Everything is totally, totally cool. Everything is awesome. When you're living your dreams, Well, yeah, that's pretty much. I'm going back up. I'm going back up that hill of living my dreams, and I'm so grateful that you guys were there. Talking to one person is like talking to 200. Talking to 200 person is talking to one person. So I had the privilege to talk to maybe 4 or 5. No, there was 5 earlier on Facebook. I think 3 or 4, so like 9 people at the same time, and just one person. Like, keep going, write that book. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and when it's written, I will post that for sure. For sure. I already have like an outline, like just the big title, but I do have a mind. I do have something that's coming up, like that's forming in my head. I was like, oh, I could do a movie, or I could do mini, like a teleseries, like on Netflix or the TV. And I'm like, okay, so in season 1, I would talk about my husband's cancer and his death. Then season 2, the first love and my awakening. And then season 3, I do this. But then I'm like, what cliffhanger would I leave them with the first one and the second one? And just having that mindset, that creative mindset, I can like, okay, I do want to write that book now. And instead of doing it on TV shows, I could do like my 4 series or like 4 books and separate them in chapters, and then they can become movies, 4 movies, kind of a Harry Potter about my life. I didn't even know they don't like, I don't know. I do have this in my head. Now my kids, my oldest who's 5 starting kindergarten in 2 weeks, and my youngest will start daycare in 2 weeks, and I'll have so much more time to actually start doing the project. And right now I'm also being coached by Brendan Burchard. I don't know if you know Brendan Burchard. He's got a coaching program, one-on-one with coaches. And I said, if I want to be the best, I got to be coached by the best. So here I am doing this coaching, getting some more clarity on where I'm going, how I'm going to do it. And it's pretty cool. I never in my life, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of doing this thing. I was a teacher, like a substitute teacher for 4 years before. And I studied hotel management and worked in a hotel for like a few years in restaurant. So where I am today, I don't know, living in Brossard near Montreal. I live in the north for like 10, 12 years. So now like, wow, I'm living in a very awesome place. Like the house itself is okay, but the area, I love it. Like it was a dream from when I was younger to live near Montreal for all the opportunities that there is here. Maybe one day LA, maybe one day somewhere where there's a beach, and it's warm all year long. Maybe California. I don't know. I don't know what. I put a few things in my vortex. If you know Abraham Hicks, you know what I'm talking about, the vortex. And I'm just going one step at a time. I was like, I want to figure everything out. Like, to me, it felt like working on getting my perfect partner meant that to be perfect, that I needed to figure everything out. Having the perfect career, exactly where I'm aligning myself to, knowing if I want kids or not right now, because he's going to be matching what I want. So if I want kids, he'll want kids. If I don't want kids, he won't want kids. So for me, I'm like, I need to know all of these things right now because I want to attract the right person and know that it's that person when I see him. And when I went to do the EFT with my coach, said, you don't need to have anything figured out. Right now, you're thinking about the future. Because what I'm working on is being in the present, being present in the present moment. And it's so hard because I always, I analyzed for 3 years what happened in my past, going through the emotion, healing all the yucky stuff from the past. And then, so that doesn't keep you in the present, because in the present, everything is fine. In the present, my health is perfect. My kids' health is perfect. We're safe. But then as soon as I go in my head doesn't know if it's the present or if it's the past. So when I go visit all these emotions, all these things that happened in my past, I'm living there. I'm not living here. And then if I think about, oh, well, when I have a boyfriend, I know he's going to be my husband at one point. Well, I guess it's going to become, it has to be someone who wants kids because he's going to become my kid's dad. But now I'm so messy in my house. Like, I'm so, like, I feel lazy. I'm tired. But the laundry, like, it's a mess. I'm like, I don't want to have a guy in my mess here. And but I do want a boyfriend. So, like, in my head, it's going like, ah, I'm already anxious about a future that there's nobody right now. I'm already first not loving myself unconditionally. That right now, my house is messy. I have kids. I have a shitload of laundry to do, to fold, and I don't have the energy. It's not I don't have the energy. I don't want to do it. That's it. I don't want to fold the stupid clothes. Oh my God, I just don't want to do it. I'm going to tap it. Even though I don't want to fold my clothes, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't want to fold my clothes, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't want to fold my clothes, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. The truth is, I don't want to fold my clothes. I hate doing laundry. We have so much clothes. I'm grateful, but I don't want to fold them. I'm tired of having a mess in my house because I don't want to I don't want to fold my clothes. That's the truth. That's how I feel right now. And I have a right to feel that way. I have a right to not want to do it. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. The truth is, it's hard to be a single mom. It's hard to have everything to do by myself. My kids are just 3 and 5. They can't help but. It's hard. It's hard to be a widow. I thought I was fine. I am fine. But it's hard. That's okay. I don't like being alone. I don't like being a widow. But I fully and completely love and accept myself. And now what would happen with my therapist, I would tell her, right now I kind of have this feeling right here. And feels like it's a breathing, the shallow breathing, or my breathing is feeling as if it wants to cry. Because when I cry, I know I got this feeling within me here that my breathing starts changing. And I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling my tear ducts here, not in my eyes, but this is what I would tell her. And now I would just be tapping and thinking about it. And maybe I'll do it crying for you, just for you guys. No, it's really healing. I don't know what, something came up. I picked up on someone's energy maybe, but. So I was saying how I don't want to do, you know how I started with, I don't want to do my laundry. I don't want to fold my clothes. To now, the next thing that came up was, it's hard to be a widow. It's hard to be single mom. Now let's see what's coming up. You know that feeling you have before you're gonna throw up? It's not quite the same, but the feeling I have before I'm gonna cry. And the important is to keep breathing. As you breathe, your brain, and I keep tapping. As I'm thinking, I'm not doing the tapping here. I'm not doing any tapping. I'm just, even if you're home and you don't know the points, you want to cry, just do that. This is tapping on a point, and it tells your brain that it's safe. It's in the present moment. This is putting your brain in action. Of course, now I'm talking, so yeah, the emotion, I can still feel it there. Oh, I don't know, something heavy. Not quite sure what it is. But you don't have to go through all of this. This is fine as you're thinking about it, as you're feeling it. I feel stupid just closing my eyes in front of the camera. And I know it's gonna cry, but I know it's not stupid. My little voice, I'm not used to just doing things like that online. And I'm like, I feel seen, I feel like observed, and it's not something I'm used to, but I'm doing it because for me, it's important to show my process. Because I didn't feel like crying. There's something that just came up, like from being honest. The important thing is being honest with your emotion. I always start with, okay, I got this pile of laundry. It's been there for 5 days. Every day I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I end up on TikTok, watch TV, go do something else. Like today we went on Mount Royal in Montreal. My girls and I climbed the stairs, and the girls did it on their own. I was so proud of them because I didn't want to do my laundry. I didn't want to fold my clothes. But from this problem I have in my house right now, of that pile of clothes on, at least it's all clean, so I can just pick whatever I need. But you're very in touch with your emotion, and that's a very good thing. Thank you. Big improvement in the past 3 years. Thank you. Yeah, it's a weird feeling because I didn't, like, even when my husband passed, I cried, but I didn't have that feeling of this. Now when I have gratitude, like one of my friends, I'm someone who's I've always been working most on my own. I would do my own stuff, do my own worksheets. And my friend, for my coaching course, she took all the documents we're given, she put them in nice format for her business, her coaching business. And then I was like, I don't have time to do this thing. And I asked her, would you mind? And I feel so bad because I know she worked hard on these things. And I'm like, would you mind if you could send me, like, could I use your documents? I will change the logo, I promise. But for me, asking for this, like, that was like such a relief. And she said, I don't normally do it, but I will do it because we stayed together. Oh my God, I cried. I had so much gratitude. I cried for like 20 minutes, and I was like, to me, that was so big. I felt so supported. I've always been the one doing everything and sharing my stuff with everyone. And now someone was sharing her stuff with me, and that I felt so blessed. I felt very emotional. And when my kids were born, I didn't cry. I'm like, I should have cried when my kids were born. I should have cried because I was so happy. No. But I think when my mom passed, I know, my upbringing also brought that. But when my mom passed too, I cried, I was of anxiety, of fear, all the emotion, anger, to the hospital and stuff. And then I think that kind of okay, well, I lost my mom. I think that might have kind of also killed the switch for when my husband passed away. Because for me, I said, well, I accompanied my mom in her death. Now my husband's dying, so at least I'm prepared. For me, I saw it like this. My brain said, you already did it once. Now it's just a second time. How can you do it better? How can you be a better person in accompanying your husband through his death? And that's what I did. So instead of being angry and fearful of everything, every time he was doing something weird, like being in a different dimension or talking weird, of his parents did not understand a thing. I'm like, I understand what's going on. I'm so calm. I would take notes. Okay, well, while you were asleep, you did these behavior and you said those things. Do you remember anything? Or do you know what was going on in your head at that moment when he would wake up from his semi-coma, but he was sleeping? And he said, yeah. And then he would explain to me what was going on. I'm like, that's so cool. I was in awe with the body and the brain. I'm like, okay, we all know you're dying. And then even one of the conversations we had was 1 month, 3 weeks before, when he got admitted at the hospital for his last 3 weeks. So we said, how long do you think you have left? I mean, seriously, those were the conversation we had. How long do you think you have left? He said, well, I think less than 3 months. I said, oh, maybe. Okay. For me, it was well, last time she said you had, 12 to 18 months. And I think that was his thing. Because he was still in a pretty good shape. And I think I had said 3 months, and I think he said maybe 1 month. He said, well, because last time that this happened, it went down that quickly. So now that this is happening, obviously the time lapse is lower. We were very rational. He was rational. I was very rational. So, that worked in our favor. That we did not like. We said, well, we're gonna do everything we can to have a good end of life, and we spend 14 months together with our babies, together, making most memories we could. So as much, like, I'm trying to be honest with myself. I'm like, oh, this was the best year of our life together. Obviously, it was not. It really was not, if I'm honest with myself. But I'm like, how can I say it was the worst year when my youngest daughter was born? Like, for me right now, like, there's this, I don't know if it's a dichotomy or what not. And as I'm talking to you guys, it's really a good relief too at the same time. But like, we were together total 13 years, 14 months. He was sick at the hospital with going through treatments. I was pregnant. I had my 1-year-old baby. Then I learned I was 5-day pregnant. No, I learned I was pregnant. Then 5 days later, we knew he had cancer. And then everything that ensued after that followed after that. Then I got my baby at the hospital. He almost passed out. He was passing out as I was giving birth, as I was getting a needle. Anyway, so with the tumors, treatments, cancer, hospital, blah, blah, and having my 2 girls, and my 2 babies, it's really hard for me to admit it was a hard year, that it was a crappy year, because in the end, now I'll cry, I'll be very honest with you here. In the end, even though it was our worst year, his worst year, I can say his worst year, well, one of my worst year, I guess, like, my dreams were coming true. So for me, that's where it's hard in my brain right now, is that even though it was the worst year of my life, it was the best too, because my dream of having a family, my 2 girls and my husband, were true. And so, how do you deal with that? If I say it was the worst year of my life, it's like saying my girl who was born was nothing. And if I say it was the best year of my life, it's like saying my husband who died was a good thing. Ooh, I like where this is going tonight. I didn't think it was gonna go there, but so I've always, like, my brain, the way it's been programmed in the past, like, I've always said, oh, I can take something negative. Even my logo, I don't have it there. No, my logo is this black line going in a ball, like in a Christmas ornament with all line. You don't have to look at your life in years. You can just see it as moments. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That makes me want to cry now. Thank you. This is why you're there tonight. You need to tell me that thing right there. Oh, thank you so much. And I can just Yep, there were some moments in the year that were my best and others that were my worst. Yep. I'm just telling my brain it's safe. It's safe to feel the emotion. Thank you. I'm someone who thanks. Now what could I say? I could say, even though, what emotion? Let me just put a word on my emotion here. And for the person who just came on Facebook or YouTube, I'm just going through an emotion. I haven't cried all evening. I've been here for 2.5 hours, and this is just something that came up before I left. And I'm doing some tapping. And I was just saying how, talking about with Eric, how the last year, there's this, I don't know if it's a dichotomy. I don't remember if that's the right word, but there's this pull and push in my head that, Eric was sick and got, and died, which was, not the greatest moment in my life, like one of the worst year. But at the same time, I was pregnant and I had my 2 babies, and I had, Emily was born, and I had my dream life of having my husband and my kid, like as a family, which were good. So for right now, in my head, like what I'm talking with the people on TikTok here, with Jade, who's fantastic in providing me a safe space, is how it was not a bad year. Instead of seeing it as years, seeing it as moments, and that I had bad moments and I had good moments. It was not a bad year or a good year. It was just in moments, and that switched a lot of things. And I'm so grateful for that teaching, because it just removes a lot of judgment. Because that's one thing I'm saying, like right now, is that's judging my journey. That's judging my thinking. If I feel bad for what I went through, if I feel bad for how I saw things, because it feels like I'm trying to fit something in a box. No, that was a good year. Yeah, I just, oh my God, like you just released a lot on my shoulder. A lot of guilt, I guess. I love guilt for feeling happy. Because when he passed away, I said, well, he was saying, I don't have control, I have cancer. But I don't have control, I'm sick, I don't have control, I'm going to die. One bad moment doesn't define a year nor a lifetime, I know. And that one I'm trying to remove from my head too, because I got arrested after that. But I fell in love, the first guy I fell in love with, for harassment. Oh my God. Anyway, it's funny now. Like, it was funny at the moment because I was not being threatening, but I've judged myself so much on that. And so I'm a bad person for having done this to this guy. And I scared the guy away. I'm a good person. Now I'm a bad person. Like, I felt like the rest, like everything, I was judging everything from me. So now the rest of my past, oh my God, I judge it so much. Good breath, that feels good. That moves a lot of things. Yep. Well, that's the thing. I defined myself after he passed. I said, I don't have control. I'm a widow, but I have control of my attitude, and I want to be happy. And that's why I did all these courses. I was happy. I met this guy. I was happy, and then when the guy left and didn't want to do anything with me, and then I just went like batshit crazy. Like, what the fuck? What did I do wrong? Then I felt like I was wrong. Yeah. But see myself in the present moment now, like I've worked hard to see myself this, the way I feel right now, feeling secure. Like now I give myself that self-love that I was expecting from my dad, from my people, like the people around me, to give me, attention, to give me, because I didn't have food. People didn't, like, I'm a single mom who just lost her husband. I'm 35 years old now. I was 32 then. I didn't have, I hear a lot of people like, oh, I got all this food. People just keep bringing food to me, and, they shower with me with all this love. I'm like, yeah, the love I got was kind of harassing, like me not having boundaries and just people pleasing. Even though I was hurt, I was trying to help my husband's family. I was trying to help everyone around me without helping me. Anyway, so now I know it was the way I was treated by others was how I was treating myself. And now that I know that, I can tell you that I take care of myself a lot, a lot. And but yeah, tonight that was a good one. Wow, I didn't cry a lot, but just now my brain's like, yeah, because the emotions, they last for about max 90 seconds. Like that's proven. The emotion lasts 90 seconds. The most real and genuine people who care about others are usually the ones with the least support. Yeah. Oh, thank you. But that's a belief. When by saying this, that's a belief. This is what our past, this is what we saw. If we have this belief in ourselves, which is a limiting belief, because you can be the most real person and have a lot of support. But if you believe that from what we've seen around, everybody who's been caring, and even from our experience, that we're the one with the least support, then we don't see how we're supported. And we won't see it. If I say, yeah, I'm always the one, I'm always a supporter and not supported, I won't see how people are supporting me. They're the strongest. Well, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I want to be the strongest, but I know I am one of them. I will take that one of the belief. It's not a limiting part for me. But yeah, and in one of the training that I'm doing right now with Dr. Scott Smith, I don't know if you know him. Anyway, he's saying, from like, I'm not supported. People are not helping me. Like, but it's like, okay, now let's see support in a different way. And that was very like, oh my God, yes, I am supported. First, it's like, okay, so you got internet. Well, somebody needed to come and plug your internet. There's somebody doing the internet. You're sitting on a chair. You're supported by the chair. You're supported by the floor, by the ground, by the earth. You're supported by the people who did that chair, by all the workers who did what you need to support yourself. Those people are there they're supporting you through their work. The farmers, they are supporting you. Yeah, they're supporting everyone else, but I mean, if we want to change our brain's perspective on how we are supported, saying, I am not supported, like I'm doing everything on my own. No, I don't live in a tent in the middle of the woods doing everything by myself. I don't sew my own clothes and make my own linens. I don't make my own air conditioning, so there's something that people needed to be there so I can support myself. But all of the people who provide stuff in my house, I bought the store. So now when you're starting to tell your brain, this is support, this is support, this is support, I'm being supported, I'm drinking clean water, I'm supported by the town, I'm supported by the glass maker. So once you start seeing that you're supported in that kind of way, your brain's starting to see how you're supported. Maybe you're not supported by the people you want to be supported by. Maybe my dad is not supporting me and pushing me in front of the bus, but that was the vibration I was in to attract that kind of behavior. Maybe I was not supported the way I wanted to, but was still supported, just did not see it. And I pushed people away. And from my vibration of my energy, oh, I'm not supported. Well, obviously, if I feel that, the universe says, what? You're right. You're not supported. And this week, like it's been 3 years of this, but this week, I started Kung Fu last week. And this week was the guy who was helping me, was my teacher. And at one point, he gets me to do the warrior. Like I'm standing, my feet apart, and I'm supposed to bend my knees like 90 degrees. And I think I was just going like this. And it's like, okay, now put your back like this is the right way of doing it. So my back super straight, going down, and then he had his leg behind my back. And I'm like, well, now he's like, okay, lower, lower, lower. Perfect. And I'm like, I can't move. I can go up. Right now, if you move your leg, I'm going to fall. He's like, don't worry. I'm not moving my leg. I'm supporting you. And honestly, after that course, I got in my car and I started crying. I said, this is the first time. Like, I know my friend was there to support me, but I felt like he was not letting me down. Even like he was pushing me over my limit. Like, okay, well, you think you can split like this? Let me push. Oh, yeah, see, you can split. You can do a little more. So he was challenging me a little bit more. but he was there to, just like you were there, like you're there, I'm here to support you. But I physically felt his support. That I'm like, even if I fall, like I fell at one point, and my legs were just super sore, and he helped me get back up. And I'm like, I was like literally supported, like physically supported. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm now seeing the physical manifestation of being supported. And I got me thinking like my next boyfriend and what I want to do. I also like doing exercise with him and just pushing each other, but in a good way. But just to know that even if I'm strong, I will have a strong person by my side who's going to have my back. And if I fall, he's going to help me get back up. I don't have to do it on my own. I do not have to. My brain thinks it has to because it's been let down often, but I do not have to. And that was like, oh my God, like it's just because my brain is wired like this. I can change that. That's called neuroplasticity. My brain changes according to the belief I have. So if I believe I'm not supported, like what do I want to believe? What do I want to teach my brain now? Because it can change anything. So by seeing this, I cried and I'm like, oh my God, that was so excited. I'm like, oh, how else can I be supported? And I got home, my babysitter's mom came, and like she came out of her car, and I opened my trunk and said, oh, can I help? I'm like, oh, it would be nice if the person coming out of that car, I didn't know it was her, I thought even if it was just my neighbor, if they would offer just to help me with the groceries. And she's like, can I help you with that? I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, I thought about it. Like, if you ever need help with the girls, like babysitting, and my daughter can't, maybe I can. If I'm busy, if I'm not busy, I'll come. I'm like, oh my God, like more support is showing up. And now I'm super excited about like things I see. But just to say, I don't have to do it alone. My inner child is like, yeah, well, I've been doing it pretty good. I've been doing a pretty good job protecting you. Like, yeah, you have. I'm so grateful for my inner child and all that she's gone through. And now, like, I have her back. Now I can say, I'm your parent, not these people. You don't have to feel like this. Like, I'm not saying these people, like my parents are bad people, but I didn't feel emotionally supported. Like, I don't need support doing, of course, my laundry would be pretty amazing, but I had to be honest. I don't want to do it. It's not because there's too much. It's just because I just don't want to do it. But once we're pretty honest with how we're feeling, it just unlocks a lot of things. All right, for me, that, it started with me not doing, like me having a pile of laundry, not doing it, to, now live, like, life is not just in years, it's in moments. So you can have a year with good and bad moments. Starting from my pile of laundry just before I was going to bed. Like it's pretty cool. I'm very, very excited. It was a really good night. I'm very happy I decided to stay a little bit longer and chat about whatever that came up in my mind. And just, that was so good. I'm so happy. I feel blessed to have you in my life. Even though I don't know you, even though I don't know what you look like, I guess I'm gonna go see your profile tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow, or maybe I don't know. I'll do that. And just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, like really honestly, that you were there and just said exactly what I needed to hear. People are there, pop in and out, and they say what they have to say to whoever is listening. And we were a match today. I was a match to you tonight, and I want to really say thank you so much. And now actually I'm gonna go to bed. Maybe I'll do some more tapping. We'll see if there's more emotion coming up or more different thoughts. But you've put me on I don't know how to thank you. I'll just say thank you. I would want to give you the world, but I will say thank you. And you've changed my life. You know what? One sentence and you've changed my life. You've changed my perspective on things and on my emotion. And I could not be more grateful and for your support. So I will wish you a good night. And I don't know when I'll do another live, but maybe tomorrow morning I'll put it on TikTok. I don't know. I'm going to have it on Facebook for sure. And tomorrow at 7 o'clock a.m. is a little early, but whoever's going to be there is going to be there. I'm just having fun with one of my friends. We're just going to chat. And so I thank you so much, and I wish you a good night. Thank you. Bye. Thank you again, Jade. And broadcast. Good.